been thinking about it daily. I'm an addict and it feels so bad, but it's good at the same time. Girl, you like my favorite drug, favorite word, favorite song, favorite horn. You're the beat to my damn rhymes. I don't know if you know, when I'm with you, I be gone, Look, and you're like a bad habit that I can't shake. Another pill that I know that I shouldn't take. Steady doing when I know that we need a break. But for what? When I know that it's too late. When I know I can't have it and it's tragic, but it feels like magic. God damn, and it feels so good. I guess I'm an addict for your love and a fool for you. Cause girl, you like my damn drug.
What is going on, fellas?
What's up, guys? What's up,
guys? Welcome to the show. All right, man, we're gonna get this thing started. So I want to welcome everybody out to the Let's Talk. I'm gonna call this officially episode 1 for Property Flex.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is the actual entire Property Flex team right here.
This is it, guys. Meet the team.
How cool is that?
Yeah, we told you guys we'd be queuing up Mr. Crypto Legend. He's been traveling the world. We finally landed, and here he is. So of course, everybody knows Milky, NR, myself, Kryptonian, and Crypto Legend. So guys, again, this is episode 1 for Property Flex. We are sure there's going to be tons of questions, and we hope we can bring you some answers tonight about what our plans are, like what we got going on, where we're going, and what it's going to take to get there, and what to expect when we get there. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about. And with that being said, guys, welcome. How's your weekend going? Everybody have a good weekend?
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Mother's Day. Let's give a belated happy Mother's Day to all those moms out there. We know it's the toughest job in the world, and even those single dads that are out there playing both parts. But yeah, man, being a mom's a tough job. I know. Even with my wife, even when she's off, she's not off. It's mom this and mom that. So
100%.
Moms definitely have the toughest job in the world. So hats off to any moms out there.
Happy Mother's Day for sure. Yep. Do you guys celebrate Mother's Day out there in the UK?
Yeah, we speak English and everything over
here. No, actually, Winston, it's the King's English.
Winston.
I give a shit about that. He knows I'm like,
I love it.
Yeah, he broke my knuckles last week.
Yeah. So. And there you go. Check this one out there, Kryptonian. And just so you guys know, that is Kryptonian's daughter. I know I say it all the time, but that is cool. That intro song is Kryptonian's daughter singing for our intro song. So find her on Spotify. She's out there, guys, and give her a follow.
Yeah, I appreciate that, guys. She's on Apple Music as well. Yep. I get asked all the time about that song. We got a bunch of songs she's working on. That one has already been submitted. We use a couple of distribution channels. I'm not sure why it hasn't dropped yet. It was a scheduled drop, so I have to look into that. I was expecting it to drop already, but at least last week sometime. So I'll look into it. But that one is called Bad Habits. That's one of her favorite songs. It's one of my favorite as well. She actually performed at the House of Blues here in Houston a few years back, right before COVID. And she opened up with that song, man. And it was, if you guys familiar with the House of Blues, it's like a venue or indies. Yeah. And it was a lot of fun, man. That song just brought the house down, man. And the guy that you actually hear rapping in that, he's a friend of hers that she met at one event. They had they kind of vibe pretty good. And then cool guy. His name is Ace Ducati, is what he goes by. The original artist in the song that she's singing in, he just couldn't make it for the House of Blues. Called this guy Ace Ducati. He's out in Atlanta, and now he's actually out in Alabama. He drove all the way, man, hour. You know, he just
for that.
Just for that one night, and he drove back. Great guy.
That's cool, man. I think that speaks volumes right there, right?
Yeah.
And I think they sound good together, man. Like
they
definitely vibe in that song, and you can hear it. So
yeah, they got another one they're working on. It sounds. I can't wait to drop that. It'll probably be one of my intros, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's good shit, man.
But enough about music. Let's talk about real estate.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. No doubt.
All right, so let me go. So, guys, I have the PropertyFlex.io website up here. If you guys I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's PropertyFlex.io. The site is up and running. It's still under development, of course. But in this little field here, you get to put in your email address to join our whitelist, and we're going to talk more about what that's going to entail, or actually get you when you throw your email in there. And of course, you have the option to read our light paper. You can click on this button right here, read now, and it'll go to our light paper, and you guys can see it all here. A lot of black and white, you know, a lot of text to go through. But we're going to talk about these things tonight. All right. So if you kind of miss out on what we're talking about, if we miss something, it's going to be in that light paper. So we recommend you go check it out and maybe follow along. So, but that's it, guys. All right. So let me go ahead and remove this the screen share. So I want to know who this crypto legend guy is. I already know who Milky is. Yeah. He does real estate. But who is this crypto legend guy? I'm just joking, Ricky. What's going on, crypto legend? So everybody knows us. You know, we've Milky, myself, and our we've been on a couple of times and talked about Property Flex. So we all know why we're here. Milky had an amazing idea, and especially with the Vulcan blockchain and the rebasing and all the mechanisms that are involved in that. So boom, brainchild, bam, it happened, and we got together. Concept to implementation is what we're working on. And then now you're here because what excited you about blockchain, real estate, and property?
You know, it's funny. I had a call with NR a few weeks back, and I said, NR, you know, I have this idea, this concept. I really love it, and it's got utility, and that's the only thing that sparks me. And most crypto call it projects and utility, and that's where it keeps driving me. And I said, NR, this is something. He says, oh, really? It sounds interesting. Let me call you back. I got to call you back. So I had no idea what he was up to, what he was doing. He called me back like maybe an hour later, says, listen, I got to tell you, this is something we've been working on for a while. And it's, you know, I'm glad to see that you were thinking about this type of project as well. And let me talk to the guys and see how this could fit and work. And I was honored to be asked to come on, which is fantastic. And, you know, my experience is all definitely 100% real estate. I have a few other side businesses, but yeah, definitely real estate's been my passion and drive for the last 22 years, now 23 years. So it's something that's in my blood, and it's the only thing that I really know. So, and I stay in my lane. I know you guys know all your crypto and blockchains, and I know real estate. So, and that's what I focus on. So
cool.
I'm happy to be here. But no, I've been in real estate honestly for 20 odd years, and it's started with single home building and renovating, and worked its way up from there to multifamily, sixplexes to multi-unit buildings, from 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 unit buildings now. So definitely have the expertise in that stuff, from wood frame to concrete to underground to superstructures, and working on different types of projects now for going into hotels and land. And yeah, it's an exciting time, and I hopefully can share it with everybody here and keep moving forward. Yeah, definitely excited to see what happens.
Yeah, man. And we were definitely happy to have you as part of the team. And it's funny because when you called me, you basically pitched to me pretty much the same thing that we were doing, right? So it's I sat back and I listened to you, and I said, hey man, this sounds familiar. So I did, man. I called the team and I said, look, man, Crypto Legend, which we've had we've had a relationship in the past, and
sure.
We've been friends for a while online and stuff. And when I called the guys, I said, here's somebody that's pretty much pitching me the same thing that we're kind of doing. He's got a ton of experience in the space, and I think he would be an asset. And then Milky followed it right up with, yeah, no doubt. I think I can learn from this guy as well as all of us. And here we are. So, yeah, I think it was a great fit. great fit.
Like any good real estate product, foundation's everything, and I think this team here is the greatest, got a great foundation for it. So we can do nothing but build upwards. So I think it'll be great.
Yeah, I think just adding to that, I mean, we can mix the genres and talk about crypto and real estate and everything, and this is why I'm in my element at the minute, because obviously I've been doing real estate for a long time, and I have been learning crypto for a number of years now. So, but when you're building a project, it's all, and when we had the initial team of the three of us, if you think about real estate and doing any kind of build work, you have to build the foundations first. You have to dig down before you build up. And that's exactly what we found when we found with Crypto Legend. Is he was the solid, the foundation that it meant that we weren't just relying on me as well, which I was excited about, because if you've got a single point of failure, it's not going to be good, is it? So
diversification,
foundations, dig down a little deeper and make it a more solid project in the future for us to build as we do want to do going forward. So I was super excited about it, and he was a nice guy as well. He seemed all right, so I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt that he's a pretty good guy, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt.
It helps a lot. It helps a lot.
Yeah. So, Crypto Legend, do you want to speak to some of your expertise? I know you just went over a little bit of it.
Sure.
Do you want to talk a little bit more in depth about your knowledge of real estate and kind of some of the projects that you've worked on, and kind of what you bring to the table for us?
Yeah, definitely. As I say, I've started, really mainly with new home construction, and that. I always found new homes in the market that I'm in, it takes 10 to 12, 13 months to build. And I always said, well, it took me 18 months to build a 50-unit apartment building. So, I scaled up fairly quickly and started with that. But learning that and the art of the negotiation of the deal, because I think it always starts with the getting your land and everything at the right price. And starting that off is definitely the key. And definitely working with the architects and designers and engineers and making sure everything's right, and then right down to your sales, your pre-sales. So there's not one part of that foundation system, and then getting into the ground, of course, right? It's once you're in the ground, that's the hard part, right?
Yeah, man.
Underground, everything's working properly and systematically and on budget. There's not one piece that I sort of don't keep my hands involved in. I think if you do, I think it just runs away on you. So I think you need to start and keep a focus on it. So. Definitely, as I say, so started with single family homes, and then I jumped up to what's called in Calgary, in Canada here, it's called condo conversions. We take an older apartment building, take it right down to the studs. As you can see from one end of the building down to the other. So there's nothing left other than an electrical panel really sitting in that unit and some plumbing stacks. So we started with that and started converting those condos and those apartments into condos and selling and dealing with everything with the city and requirements and permitting and working our way up. So there was, hiring the trades to get it from point A to Z. So we did well and moved on and probably did over 300 units like that. And then the next, logical step was new construction. So we started with new construction with wood frame, 5-6 stories, 50, 60 units and, 2 to 3 levels of underground parking, and worked our way out there. So, working with the trades, again, it's always a new learning experience, from a house to an apartment building, engineers and soil sample. It's endless. It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
But keeping on top of it all and keeping with the new trends, and, your time you build it's a year and a half down the road, and people are, styles and situations change. So you're always going to adapt and change with it.
Sure.
And it's not only that. It's I appreciate everything else that's going on. It's how we change the community at the same time. We're taking over older buildings, creating new ones. The community changes right around with us to the positive. So there's a lot of definite positive besides those units and people getting those units for reasonable pricing. It's what we do to the neighborhoods, and people really appreciate that in the community.
Yeah, I think that's something that's overlooked, is when you come in and you take an old rundown building and you refresh it and you renew it, you revive it. You're also kind of reviving the community and what's around that building as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're increasing not just the property value, but everything around you just seems to come up a little bit. People are a little happier. You just bring a little something new and different to the neighborhood as well. Yeah, I think that's a big part that's overlooked.
Yeah, so it's proven to work well in the communities, and we keep juggling from community to community, city to city. So I've done work in Calgary, I've done work in Vancouver, I've done work in Phoenix. I like to keep spread around, and not only multifamily or single family. We like to dive into a little bit of commercial as well. We do some independent commercial buildings, and take large warehouses, stratify them, put in different units in there, convert them into self-storage facilities, whatever it may be. And now we're looking at some hotel opportunities here in Calgary, close to the new Saddle Dome, as they call it, where the Calgary Flames, the hockey team here in Canada, will be playing. So.
Sure. That's great. Nice. That's another big thing that you bring to the table with joining our team as well. As Kryptonian and I have the States locked down, Milky's over there across the pond in the UK, and you've got Canada. So it kind of really opens up a whole nother door, a whole nother avenue for the team and for Property Flex as a whole. So
big market, which I'm excited to explore more with. So definitely. I'm only one guy, so I can do so much. But this seems to be a good opportunity, so that's great.
Yeah, man, we're excited to have you. Trust me, we're excited to have you, and I think the community's lucky to have you as well, man. As part of this team, we're building something great, and it's even that much better because you're part of the team, brother. So thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you being here.
Yeah, man.
All right, so we got a feeler about your background, right? So we understand that you have some experience in crypto, but your lane is real estate as well as Milky. But Milky has a lot more experience in crypto than he would like to admit.
I'll leave that to you guys, really.
But
real estate for sure.
So all right, so when you started thinking about the idea of Property Flex, because you had, obviously it wasn't called Property Flex in your head, but you thought about this, you thought about the opportunity. What made you so excited about? I mean, you said utility. We're talking about utility, but
utilities, real estate is I like to look at it as the best time to plant a tree is 30 years ago or today, right? Everyone loves to have that final investment, know that they can live at a certain supported income at a certain age and certain time, and real estate's always seemed to be the go-to for that. There's a lot of crypto programs out there that they vow to make you money, quick money, 10, 20, 30 days. Here you go. You put $100 in and you make 100,000 later, right? Real estate is not really like that. It's, it's a solid foundation. And I believe that's where you make your true money. And, crypto is something that I've always had a passion about and learned about slowly. And no one will tell you I've had some mistakes, and he's helped me out definitely in the long run here. But all proved for the better. And, in Canada, it's hard to raise money. It's hard to find money. It's hard to deal with the banks. The banking system is very, very tough. And I think the crypto market allows for us to overachieve over the banks. So,
and I think that's not just a Canada thing. And I'm sure Milky can attest to this, but I don't think that's just a Canada thing. I know I've ran into it. I've dealt with some hard money lenders here in the United States, as well as traditional finance as well. And I don't think that's just a Canada problem, man. I think that's a bank problem.
Yeah, money's real expensive to borrow and to even to
and especially with interest rates rising now.
Yeah. So
now it seems like they want your firstborn child to qualify for any type of loan.
No, they want your firstborn child's child is what.
Yeah.
So you're gonna prearrange a marriage or something.
Yeah.
So with that being said, guys, understanding where we are relative to the economies, and we're in different places, different ponds here on side of different ponds here. But the global economy is the global economy. What is your real estate like? You're just north of us there, Richard.
Sure.
So in Canada, I've been there a few times, love it. What's the economy like there when it comes to real estate relative to property values? I mean, is it a lot like the U.S. and I want to know how it is in the UK, and I know Milky's got some insight on that.
Right. I believe there's lots of room for growth, and that's the key here for us as well. There's lots of room for growth. The values of the property still are climbing, but yet the rental rates are climbing just as high. The vacancy rate is slim to none. We have lots of ability to have zero vacancy in these projects that we're considering and looking at, and the rents are stabilized, and we can achieve a little bit more than the average person right now, so our average community. So there's definitely a large amount of upside for us, and I think that's here to stay for quite some time. there is no real new product being built, and demand and supply is very little.
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar wherever you go in the world. There's always regulations and the different barriers and red tape and hurdles you've got to jump over and stuff. And just in the UK, it's just as bad. I think why I'm excited about this is where it's it's kind of a mix between a DeFi project, obviously, and a property company. But what I really like about it is we take the power away from the banks, because even over here, like if you find a great project, the banks then want you to make like a 20-25% profit margin, even though you can make it stack at maybe 10-15 and you're going to make a lot of money because it's a big project. They then want you to have a 20-25% profit margin. You've got to prove it. And then it's the fact that you've got, as your project's ongoing, you've got costs associated not just with borrowing the money, but with actually with using the money as well. So you like draw down in tranches. You've got people who come to site and they visit and they look around and they just give a tick in the box, and it costs you like $2,000 just for that visit. Yeah. But also the thing that where I had the epiphany or what has turned into this project is the fact that I started one of my projects in February of 2020. We broke ground. And obviously we were using bank money, and then a month and a half later, COVID hit, and it was a scary time for me because I had over £1.5 million. So that's like, what is it in the US fake money? Like $20 million or something. I don't know. Right, but
it's $5.
Yeah.
We don't like to talk about that.
So I had like £1.5 million or just less in this small project. But then all of a sudden, when COVID hit, the banks came in and they've got a thing called step-in rights. And what that gives them the ability to do is when they think the project is under threat or because they've got to protect their money, which I understand, it doesn't help you though. So you have to, they threaten you and they can step in, take the site off you, and then like fire sell it. They can emergency sell it for you, which means that, let's just say if it's £1 million and they accept 750,000, because you've signed personal guarantees on that, you're liable for the 250 and you've got absolutely no say in it. And it just scared me out. When you're the developer and you're taking all the risk and you're borrowing all the money, and you have to jump through certain hoops and criterias, the ability they have just to take that away from you, just like that, is so scary. So when I was looking at sites and kind of weighing up whether or not they were profitable or not, the ability to have your own funds or like a community's funds, and then not pay the 10% per annum plus the costs and everything, the sites that you're actually then able to get there's so many more, because you're not having to factor in that cost of borrowing money as well. So that's why all the rich people in my local area or the areas wherever, they get the best deals because they're cash buyers and they don't have to factor in financing from institutional lending. Yeah. And they say, I'll give you £1 million now, rather than somebody coming in and saying, well, I'll give you 800,000 and we'll do a deal and all that kind of stuff. So it just takes the power away from the banks. And at the minute, the trustworthiness or the trust that's held within banks is at an all-time low. I mean, banks all the time, right? So if you can say to people, we've got a good, solid project, we're under no threat from anything being taken away from us because we've bought it with our own funds, and you don't have to jump through those hoops, it makes everything a lot easier. And I say it's the line of least resistance. It's just, the banks are great, obviously, but I mean, if for developers, and they are needed at certain times, but if you don't have to deal with them, that's where the real profit is, because they make you jump through those hoops. And if you don't have to, you're going to make a lot more money.
Sure. And I know I've personally, the projects that I've done in real estate here recently is I've been that cash buyer. Now I'm usually on a smaller scale. I'm coming in and paying $200,000 cash for a house, and we're turning around, going through it, rehabbing it, and turning around selling it for 450, 500. But I am that cash buyer because I see the benefit in doing that. Yeah, no doubt.
Absolutely. It's the way all the time. I mean, money talks, right? That's what happens. And if you can just go in there and like people who decide that they're going to sell a project, a piece of land, a house, or they've inherited something and they don't want to have to deal with it. Sure. If somebody comes across and says, I can do this in cash and we'll buy it within 3 weeks.
Yeah, you can close sooner. It gives you more bartering power. Yeah, 110%.
And sometimes, I mean, a property or a development or an inherited property or whatever it may be might be a pain point for the vendor. So they just want to get rid of it as soon as possible. So if you come in as a cash buyer, that's where you get your best deals.
Yeah, no doubt.
Man, I'm loving this stuff, man. I'm getting some takeaways. So you guys hear me say it often, what are the takeaways? I always ask that. So this is what I've heard in the last few minutes. As I heard decentralization, right? Meaning we're not going to the banks. We're not having to go be at the mercy of the banks. And we all know banks are centralized, and we all know about the banks and why crypto is even here, right? That's number one. Number two, we are the bank, right? And that's number two. Number three, we're self-funded because we are the bank, and we're talking about the community that buy into this thing. And then of course, number 4 and 5 is more opportunity and better returns because we're going to have to factor in financing and all those types of things. That to me is just it's knocking it out of the park. It's like, you can ask, I think, for a better business model because of crypto, because of the ability, because of this whole the thing we're going to be doing with blockchain technology. And that leads me into this question from Teddy One. Thanks for the question, Teddy. And I know we've answered this many times, but it's asked, and it's always a great question because there's only one way to answer this, right? And it's going to be the right way. And I'm going to leave this to Milky. Milky, go ahead.
So each NFT is valued at $100, and we did that. The reason why we did that is because we wanted to make it a low point of entry for people coming in and wanting to dip their toe into property for the first time. And so that being said, each NFT is $100. It's that simple. And is there different tiers? No, there's not. If you want to invest more, you buy more NFTs. It's as simple as that, because we value every single dollar the same from every single person. And if that's somebody who's struggling to find $100 because they've just been robbed or something, what has ever happened in the wild west of DeFi, or maybe it's the first time invested in crypto and they don't want to put too much into it because they've heard scary things or whatever, as opposed to somebody who's got 100,000 BNB and they want to go all in and they want to be a big lender. Well, no, they just buy more, because each NFT, the way that we've done the light paper, is the returns are based upon the NFT itself. We can't have different tiers saying that somebody's more important than somebody else, because what we want to do is in our Discord or our socials is we want to provide a learning element to it as well. Now, some people will want to learn things and want to be educated, and other people won't. It'll just be a hands-off passive investment for them. But we don't want to put in different rooms where we tell people who've invested $10,000 more they got more information. What we want to do is we want to strip it back for everybody and say, this is what's going on, this is what everybody's learning, and if you want to come along for the ride, you can. And again, your returns are based upon how many NFTs you hold. So if you have one, great, you'll learn just as much as somebody who's got 10,000. The learning aspect of it is all inclusive. The return on your investment is based on your one NFT, and if you have 10 NFTs, your return on your investment, the percentages are exactly the same. You just get more money. You put more in, you get more out. It's as simple as that.
Now, one thing we have been talking about, and Rob, you're 100% right. It is an easy entry point and very affordable, and it is. And anybody can in this space usually has $100 that they'll throw into pretty much any project. But one thing we've been discussing is putting together bundles for someone who wants to invest more than that. If you want to invest 5,000 or 10,000. Instead of buying individual NFTs, we've talked about maybe putting together some bundles and just making it easier for when you want to buy multiple NFTs as well.
Yeah. I mean, this actually shows that Nolan listens to my voice messages as well, because he didn't.
Yeah.
But so the thought would be on that is because I didn't actually know, because like I said, my main background is obviously property, and before that some other stuff. But the element of it is I didn't want people, if they wanted to invest more, let's just say we get 2 or 3 years down the road, Vulcan is a huge success, and people look at Property Flex and say that's doing amazing things. They have lots of property, they've done lots of projects. I want to put $25,000 into this project, right? Because they've made money. What we didn't want to do then is have, I don't know, I can't look at the maths, but we didn't want MetaMasks having 2,500 NFTs. We wanted to see if we can do a bundle and say there is a 100 NFT. But all the rewards are based exactly the same. It's really
exactly.
we don't want to make it difficult. We want to make this easy for people. That's it. We don't want to complicate things.
Yep. Now speaking to that, and you just brought up a good point, Milky, and hopefully both yourself and Crypto Legend can speak to this a little bit more, and you can chime in if you want, Kryptonian. But you brought up Vulcan, so why do you guys think that Vulcan is a good fit for this space for what we're doing?
Well, see, now you've got me on a roll. I'm just going to talk and talk and
That's
talk.
That's fine, man. That's what you're here for.
I can always shut you down, Milky, but go ahead.
I'd rather listen to you than Kryptonian any day, bro.
I get that a lot, man. First of all,
just ask DP, you know?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let me just mute myself. Quick question before you get started. What are you drinking on there, Crypto Legend? Drinking some whiskey?
Yeah. It's old-fashioned.
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 Right at you, baby. Right at you. That's how you do it, man. That's how you do it. All right, go ahead. Sorry. He's drinking Earl Grey tea or something. But go ahead, Milky.
Listen, I'm fed up with this stereotypical thing.
It's like 4 o'clock in the morning, man. He's drinking. Coffee.
You just said that 1.4 pounds is worth what, $20 million US dollars.
Yeah.
I give as good as I get, brother. But go ahead.
Yeah. So it was originally aimed at the Vulcan blockchain because for me it was when I was thinking about how can I tie the two together. Now, if we think about Vulcan, the rebasing provides 44% APY, and I was thinking, well, a good property investment for somebody who wants to be an investor. Let's just say they're looking at doing crowdfunding or something like that, and they want to put some money into a property project. As I say, they've got 5,000 or 10,000 is normally the lowest point of entry for a crowdfunding project. They're looking to get around about 8% a year. And now, obviously, Vulcan with the APY starts at 44%, and that's just base. And then when they started bringing out the extras and the added on, because obviously I'm a Vulcan investor myself, and I was keen to know how I could do this. But when they started doing the flex element of it, which is obviously the transactional value, and that's passed back, for me, I was looking at the numbers, and again, we've looked at the numbers since. And if you get like $100 NFT with just the flex element of it and with good transactional value on the blockchain, then you'll be pretty much cash neutral. And I'm not guaranteeing everything, because obviously it depends on the blockchain working itself. But if you put $100 in, we think you could be like cash neutral around about 1 or 2 months in, just because of the 44%. So if you're on $100, after 2 months you're on 44%, and then you've got your flex rewards as well, and a power pool as well that's going to be automatically collected for you. So you're going to be cash neutral within a month or two, and then you've got year-on-year profits, and you've got no money left in the game. And then you've got the actual thing that Property Flex is built around, which is the property rewards come in when they come as well. So that's why it was aimed at the Vulcan blockchain.
Right on. Crypto Legend, anything to add to that?
I could have said it better. That was fantastic. Right? That residual income coming with the property after the fact, it just quadruples. It's great.
Yeah, and I'm on the same train of thought there as Milky's saying. As we saw the mechanisms with the Vulcan blockchain, and the rebasing it. Yeah, the cash neutral in a few months, it made sense to me. It definitely, real estate is a long, as you said, Crypto Legend, it's a long game, it's what you think about long-term. It's not a get rich quick scheme or anything like that. It's something that will be there because, dirt is dirt, God's not making any more of it. If you can get a piece of it, it's probably a good investment, I think. So for me, I love crypto. Of course, I love crypto. I love blockchain technology. And I saw what Vulcan was doing, and then seeing what we're going to be doing with Property Flex. For those that want to get into real estate, the barrier of entry has been dropped. I mean, you literally can step over the barrier now. It's, Milky came in and cut the ribbon. So we're opening it up for everybody, $100, that's it. And as much as you want to get in, you get in. But I think the one thing that's kind of obviously there's going to be return. You're going to be cash neutral, hopefully in a few months. Yeah, we're going to get into huge projects. Everyone's making money, but you guys are actually missing what I think personally is the most, vital, I think gift from this project. And that's the education. not only are you going to be investing in real estate and, you know, in cryptocurrency, which is backed by real estate, real dirt, you're also getting the experience of what 50 years combined here of real estate experience from different parts of the world. Not some guy, not one guy
if
in one
not
city.
more.
If not more,
not more.
yeah. I'm speaking assertively, you know. So you're getting a lot of experience from different markets. That's huge, guys. That's huge. I mean, that to me, it's not like it's one thing to go to an investment group and say, hey, you know, I want to throw some money at some real estate. You know, I want to diversify. You know, and they're going to go to certain areas that they're comfortable with, right? Very rarely are you going to get guys that two different sides of the map, you know, right. Different experiences, different portfolios. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, but you're not going to get that, but you're also going to get the education that comes with that. And one thing I've already learned about Milky, and I'm sure I'll learn about Crypto Legend, is these guys love to teach. You know, I've seen Milky, man. He likes to get up there in front of people, talk, and he likes to wear little polos. I've seen it. I saw it. I mean, you showed me videos, man.
He's wearing a little polo right now.
Yeah, I like that. It's a little property flex. That's nice, man. I didn't get mine, but I'll check in the mail. I'm sure it's there. I'm sure it's there.
Yeah.
It's all good. But so I'm excited about the education that's going to come along with this, because it's going to be a continuing education. As the markets change, guys, so will our approaches and I'm not my approaches, but the guys that are actually the professors in real estate here, they're going to know how to adapt. And you guys hear me talk about pivoting all the time. And this is what these guys have been doing and for years. Yeah, so they know the markets, they know what to look for, and they know how to make money in these markets. And most importantly, they know how to buy dirt. And they're bringing this to everybody. So I'm super excited. So
yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the educational side of it, because a lot of times when you go to seminars and stuff and they sell you courses and they're great, right? I mean, that's how I got started at the very beginning. But what they don't, they teach they try and sell you on an idea of the unicorn. You know, everything's all rainbows and everything's amazing. But what myself and Crypto Legend are obviously going to provide is the reality of it, the harsh reality of it sometimes, and what I like to call boots on the ground learning. It's like you can do all the courses and you can sit there and listen to people from a stage, but until you actually get involved in a project and actually understand it, then you're not going to actually learn anything really, because you're only being told what they want you to hear because they want to sell you or upsell you onto something else. And the beauty about this is there's no upsell, there's no educational course to buy. It's just a bonus that we're throwing in. But a lot of the times, even when you invest in like if you do crowdfunding, what you still don't get to see is you don't get to see behind the curtain. And that's what we're saying is like we're going to swing the curtain wide open and we're going to say this is everything. So
Milky's butt naked in the shower with the curtain just wide open.
What a thought! What a thought! But it's that availability, and this is why I love the amalgamation of crypto and blockchain technology. It's because we can show everybody the absolute down to the penny kind of costings, the contracts, and stuff that myself and Crypto Legend will know about, and the stuff that people don't know, like connecting utilities and the hoops you've got to jump through for creating new electrical paths into buildings and things like that. It's not just a matter of just ringing somebody up and say, hey, can I have some electricity? But everybody will get that absolute like learning. I bought a site once and it was on an old, just a disused warehouse, and we dropped it and the historical records for what was underneath the ground when you actually started digging down was absolutely nothing. We had pipes and we had all sorts going. It was like a snake's wedding underneath, and trying to learn from that and understanding how you can reroute and redirect things around your site safely. People are going to get access to all that, even if they don't want to. It's going to be there in the Discord and in the Medium articles and things like that. And I think a lot of the time people will be blown away by how much information is going to be provided and how much they thought they knew about property if they are a newbie to compare to what it's really like. Because when I first got involved in my first project, the learning curve was incredible. Absolutely.
And how much of that learning curve, and I know myself, again, I'm nowhere near the amount of dollars that you guys have under your belt. I'd consider myself still kind of a novice compared to you guys. But how much did that learning curve cost you money to in the beginning. Exactly, man. Because I know it's cost me.
Well, I can
learn
put
from our mistakes, right? Definitely learn from those
Yeah.
mistakes. Yeah. And that's what I love about the blockchain. Everything is going to be on that blockchain. The guys, like, I don't care if we're doing 100 units and we need 5,000 light fixtures, right? You're going to see that, right? And we're going to have 3 competitive prices for everything we do here. You know, everything down to every dollar counts. You know, peanuts make peanut butter at the end of the day here, right? So we're going to, you know, every dollar we save is a dollar earned. So that's the key. And you'll see that through that blockchain.
Exciting.
Love it. Yeah, man,
it's good stuff.
And that's based upon, obviously, Richard and myself. We've learned those lessons, and we've been in those meetings where somebody tells you that the costs are not going to be for something is not going to be $25,000. It's going to be like $37,000, and you're looking down your budget line and your estimated build times and time costs money, and you realize there's a 3-week slippage, and this is going to cost you $15,000 in prelims and things like that. And we've learned those hard lessons and been in those unsavory meeting rooms when you're being told this. And like I said, I lost hundreds of thousands on one of my first projects, hundreds of thousands, and it was rough, right? But we want people to be able to learn from that without having to make those mistakes that we've made, or I've made at least.
Yeah, I haven't graduated to pretty woman status yet. Crypto Legend and Milky are escorts, and NR is still walking the streets. Hell, I probably still have a pimp balls deep.
Hand in hand.
Yeah, I'm just a guy driving a taxi.
Yeah, that's a good analogy, man. And yeah, I've got quite a few million, but nowhere near these guys, man. These guys are upwards 100 million, and yeah, I'm down in the lower millions. So, you know, but yeah, these guys know their stuff, and you know, I'm happy and proud to be partnered with these guys. I've already learned quite a bit from them, and I think that's one of the most exciting parts about this is that added bonus, that added benefit of the, you know, kind of the tutorial side of things that I'm looking forward to. So yeah. Definitely going to be awesome, guys.
Yeah, I think adding to the benefits of this, and this is something that I'd not even thought about when we were putting together the light paper and stuff. And I think it was we were talking about it on just 5 minutes or whatever it was when you brought me out from my dungeon and said, Milky, go and talk to people and stuff. And I was like, okay, boss, I will do. So it was the fact that somebody in the comments said that they were going to buy an NFT because it automatically claims the flex and the power pool for them. Yeah. And I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So, that's just one of the small benefits, you know?
Yeah. It's the fact that they don't have to worry about it. And obviously we're all looking at the same blockchain and the tokenomics and things. And if you can make things easier for people, then it's just going to be an added bonus. If somebody puts in $500 and gets 5 NFTs, then they don't have to worry about the flex and the power pool and everything else. It's automatically done for them. So it was a side benefit for sure, but it was a great one that we didn't even know, that we didn't even think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've actually sugar on top for sure.
Yeah. I've actually got a property that we just went through and we did a full gut and kind of revamped it. It's on the market right now, I think for about $500,000. I did it with a partner. And we upgraded the electrical service from 100 amp to 200 amp service. And I'm still going through all the calling our gas and electric company and had to have someone come out, and the engineer had to come out and plan the upgrade and all this stuff. So, I mean, it's not as cut and dry as people think. So yeah, man, you're 110% right, Milky. Yeah. And this is just a small residential townhouse in Baltimore City, like a row home. So yeah. Should be interesting, the amount of education.
We're talking about units and commercial properties.
Yeah.
And we got a question for you guys. Milky, is there a limit to how many NFTs you can buy? And you answered this earlier. And no.
It's an unlimited mint. The only limit is on how many you want to buy yourself. I'm sure we might go through it or we can do it at some point. And the reason why we're leaving it unlimited and how we're going to structure the NFT breakdown so that the people who get in at certain points won't be diluted by people who get in year 4 or 5. So, there's no limit at all.
Yeah. Do you want to speak a little bit on that, Milky, and kind of talk about how you're going to give attributes, or how we're going to give attributes to the earlier minted NFTs so that they won't be diluted by people who jump in later on?
Yeah, I mean, might as well. I mentioned it, so we might as well go into it. But one of the concerns from somebody who was in our focus group was what happens if we get in, if I buy an NFT on day 1, day 2, day 100 before we buy our first real world asset, and then the profits coming from there are going to be diluted by somebody who buys the 8,000th NFT in a year's time, maybe. And so we thought about it. We said, no, it won't be, because what we're going to do is we're going to assign, let's just say there's two sides to the Property Flex investment options. One is called invest, which is income, which is from commercial assets that we're going to buy and have a rental yield from. And the other one is the develop. But if we talk about just the rental income for now, if you buy your NFT, it's assigned an attribute of, I don't know what we're going to call it yet because we're still working on the devs, but it's going to be, let's just say 1+. So you get every reward, because we're recycling your investment money. You get every one from project number 1 all the way up to project number 1,000 if we're here for 100 years. Yeah, if you get in project number 8, you will get an 8+, which means you get 8 and upwards, but nothing before. So you don't dilute the money that was coming in before, but you do have access to the funds and the profit that comes from the ones afterwards. That's the easiest way to do it. And it just means, and then that leads on to another question that I know that we were asked, which was, can we sell our NFTs? The answer to that question is, why would you want to? No, you can sell them if you want. Mm-hmm. And obviously the ones that are eligible for the earlier rewards will be more valuable because they'll be generating more income from the pools and the funds that are coming in. So if you have one with a 1+, let's just say, I don't know, it's $1,000 by that time, and one that comes in at 8+ might be worth $250 or something. So that's the way, because their intrinsic value is based upon what rewards they get. So the more rewards, the more valuable the NFT. So there you go.
Cool.
I'm sorry, I bore myself now talking about this. I've got a very monotone voice, so
no, you're good. I'm just looking. I saw a question here. I think I already put it up. Oh, we have Chris Cruz joining us. Thank you, sir, for joining us. We got Crypto Terry. These guys heard about us talking about Property Flex and meeting the team. They're obviously excited about the project as much as we are. They asked us questions about it, so I know these guys are excited that you, Milky, and Crypto Legend are here to talk about more about Property Flex. So, guys, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. I know you guys have been listening. Thanks for standing by in the background there. We just wanted to give Milky the chance to talk because he likes to talk, and more than Milky's bedtime, right?
It's almost bedtime, right?
No, yeah, and no, he's got a lot of good stuff, and he's really good with just talking about the opportunity here, specifically with the Vulcan blockchain. We're excited about it, guys. I can't personally wait until we offer up the first NFTs, and it's game on, man. This is going to be so exciting. I can't wait. But I think what's going to happen with Crypto Legend and Milky is the moment we go live with this, they've been doing real estate all these years, but I think they're going to get super creative. They're going to be looking for some good projects. I think they're going to really excite the community.
Lights of fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You guys, it's like for me, it's like it's gonna reignite that passion that actually got you guys into real estate, right?
Thank you, Tony. Can you look at Ashley's comment?
Let's see. Is that the comment there?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. No.
The last one. The one that just popped up.
There it is, right bottom. Here it goes.
Go read the white paper. Yeah, that one.
I will have to reread the white paper. What are we getting paid for in return? Vol? Milky?
Yeah, simple as that. So if you think about what the return is based upon, and it is on Flex and the Power Pool. And the Power Pool and the Flex on the Vulcan blockchain are paid in vol. So that's what you'll get.
That's what you'll get. Yeah. So you are under no obligation to hold the vol. You can and it can rebase, but you can cash it out.
Yeah, I think if people have read the light paper and they understand it, at least. I mean, I've read and reread and rewrote that light paper like 17 times or whatever it may be, maybe more. But if remember in there that as well, we've got a war chest and we've also got the safety net. So that I believe if we was to be able to say that there is another option for you to be paid back in not Vulcan or Vol, sorry, is if something goes wrong with the blockchain itself. Let's just say there's a crypto apocalypse, then we will use the safety net, which is described in the light paper. We will sell the real world asset that's assigned to that element of it, and you will get paid back in stable coins. Is probably the best way to say it. So that'll be the only time you don't get paid back in vol if something's gone really wrong, but we've got contingencies put into place for it.
The war chest and the safety net, and that's actually detailed in the light paper, guys, which is something that we're not really talking about. But if you really think about that, because we know how volatile the crypto market is, things happen. So Milky has come up with some great ideas to actually offset that, or I would say to help minimize the risk. So, which is what we all want, because rarely do you find that in any crypto project. It's all risk, right? And because these are tied to real world assets, to real world contracts, that is definitely in mind. So check out the light paper at propertyflex.io. There's a huge button, and at the very center of the page, it says the light paper. Read now and check out the war chest and the safety net, and I'll explain exactly what he's talking about and how that's going to work. So, but it's a great question. Great question. We're excited about it too, Tina. Super excited. The next question is when will you launch, and when will the rewards start? Well, we're going to launch as soon as we hit gamma, right? As soon as we hit gamma, and it is under my impression and my understanding that we should be hearing something about gamma this week, according to BL's Brian Legend. So
that's what the latest news says. So we'll see. But yeah, we're pretty much at a stall right now until we can't move forward until the blockchain moves forward. So unfortunately, we're at a standstill at the moment. And also we're gonna look to. I mean, Vulcan was initially what we all talked about, made the most sense for this thing, but we're not just going to stop there, guys. I mean, we're going to blow this thing up, and we're going to look elsewhere. We're going to look at other blockchains. And yeah, guys, this is going to be huge. So this is going to be huge.
So,
very much so.
We're ready to, Terry.
I'm so ready. So
thank you guys for joining, Terry and Chris. Thank you guys. Always a pleasure. Always enjoy having you guys.
On y'all's end, though, without anybody else on the outside, are you guys like 80% ready or 90% ready? I know you're waiting for other projects to join in.
So unfortunately, we can't really do a whole lot as far as development
until they are out, right?
So we're kind of but the with minting NFTs, we're not reinventing the wheel here. So it's nothing on our end that's going to be super complex. So it's not going to take us long to get ready. Let's put it that way.
So I think that's what he wants to hear.
We have our ducks in a row to where once the blockchain comes out and our developers can get a hold of it, and it's not going to be long before we're launching. Let's put it that way.
So stack in your side bag, right?
You got it, brother. You got it.
There it is.
So I'll just answer that question there from Biz. So the way that we're hoping to claim the flex and the power pool and everything, that will automatically be dropped into every wallet. That's just the way that we're trying to design it. Again, obviously, we have still got to wait for put some meat on the bones from what Vulcan can and can't allow us to do. But with regards to smart contracts and NFTs, that shouldn't be a problem at all. And it won't affect the NFT value because your NFT will be eligible to claim what it can claim, i.e. how many projects or the attributes that are assigned to that NFT. And you can do whatever you want with that VOL. That VOL will get put into your wallet and you can crack on and do whatever you want with it. You can reinvest it. You can probably be wise to buy more NFTs, but the NFT value itself will be based upon, one, what attribute marker it's got. So, i.e., what value of rewards it claims, and two, what somebody's willing to pay for it. So, if you've got an attribute 1 and you just don't hit it at the right time, and the buyer will only offer you 1,000, or then late 3 weeks down the line you have an attribute 2 which is worth actual less or gets less rewards, and somebody's there at the right time and wants to pay $1,200 for it. That's just the open market, in it. So, but it won't affect the NFT value with regards to the rewards that you'll be getting.
What's up, Pride? Appreciate you tuning in, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he says, what's the price range of these NFTs? There is no range. It's just $100, period.
$100, sir. That's going to be flat across the board. It'll be an unlimited mint. So we'll just leave. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to have a DApp. You're going to be able to mint an NFT. It's going to be just open all the time. And you're going to be able to, I guess, pretty much kind of what we've been talking about is staking those basically on a particular project, or posting your NFTs to that specific project that you would like to invest your money in with us, whether it's the rental, whether it's the development side, and it'll be $100 per NFT. You can mint as many as you would like, or as few as you would like. And kind of go from there, Pride. So yeah, there's no, we're not going to have different price ranges or anything like that. So just $100 per NFT. Yeah, man.
So what I haven't heard you guys say is Airbnb. Is that maybe in the works too?
No.
Okay, so that's just asking. Thanks.
So then we're not only sharing the profit with that, we'd be sharing the profit with Airbnb when it's something that we can handle on our own as far as rentals. So why give Airbnb some of the profit that we could then turn around and share with you guys?
We are the Airbnb.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was asking.
And Airbnb isn't, I mean, I know everybody sees it on the internet and every guru's trying to sell you a class to make money with Airbnb. It's not as sexy and as profitable as everyone thinks. Let's say that, because I've been in that space before. I have some friends that are in that space, and it can be lucrative, but it also takes work. It's, just like everything else. It's not as easy and as lucrative as everyone, I'm going to get a couple of Airbnbs and buy a Lambo. Like, that shit just doesn't happen, So,
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Milky, you want to grab this one? Balls deep. Want to grab balls deep?
No, he doesn't.
I think Milky's going to pass.
Yeah. Would you like to milk balls deep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to grab that one, brother?
Yeah, I will do. Give us a second. So, I mean, there's not really, with Vulcan having an investing period, obviously you've got access to your 2.5% of your bag, right, from day one. That's that's up to you what you put that back into. We're going to just launch when we launch, and it depends. It's up to you where you pull that money from. I mean, because we can't access, obviously, because we're not in Gamma yet, we can't really say when we will be launching, whether that's on day 1 or day 10 or day 30. We can't honestly say that because we don't want to give anybody any false impressions of what we don't want to oversell and underdeliver. We'd rather be the other way around. So it's up to you what you do with it, like with your VOL. Because it'll be a matter of what's in your wallet. So if the vesting period has unlocked 2.5% of your bag, right? And let's just say that's $1,000. I have no idea. Let's just say you've got $1,000 worth of VOL in your wallet. Well, then you can quite easily just transfer that into an NFT or 2 NFTs or whatever you want within your wallet, within the DApp that we produce. So it's, or if you want to put more money into it.
At least to the next question, Terry, is there a maximum number of NFTs per wallet? And it'd be no.
Yeah. So the only answer there is what the physical, or not the physical, but what the digital limitations are of your wallet.
So if you have Trust Wallet, how many did they allow? If you use MetaMask, how many did they allow? And so on and so on. Which for Terry there, if
I don't know if you caught the beginning of the kind of the stream, but we did say that we were looking into doing bundles purely for this. We don't want
Yes.
if we're looking, let's just say we're looking at year 4 and institutional finance is coming into the crypto space, or at the very least this project, excuse me, and somebody's going to drop $100,000 or some whale is going to drop $100,000. They don't want all those NFTs in their wallet, so there might be a bundle where we can bundle them into thousands or 10,000s. It doesn't make it. It doesn't. It's not a tier system. It's just purely a software package that will be offered. But there's no maximum. If you want to drop $1 million into it, you drop $1 million into it. It makes no difference.
And I know there are some of the NFT sales platforms, like I think Tofu NFT. I think they have you can bundle and kind of basically take the whole floor and buy all of the NFTs that they have. So they will kind of bundle them for you. So that might be something that we look at as well, Milky. So
yeah.
Did you see
the sales platforms?
CTICH or CTICH asked how you can handle repairs. Like
for the rental stuff. I'm assuming.
I don't know. That's just came up. So yeah.
Okay, Milky, Crypto Legend, one of you guys.
Yeah, so I'll do that one as well. So the repairs obviously cost money, right? So if you look at our light paper, because everything is described in the light paper, I don't want to be dismissive and just say, "Oh, go and read the light paper," but everything is in there. The allocation from the profits from a development or such has been dropped, so that there is a small treasury wallet, and those treasury wallets will do remedial repairs work and things like that. There'll be a budget for that. We had to make sure that there was enough in there. We're not trying to make a massive treasury wallet for no reason that has hundreds of thousands of dollars in it. There's no need. We wanted to give maximum returns to the investors. But if you do look in there is a breakdown for, I think it's it gives profit per NFT or from the development back. It goes into project growth. So there is boosting the pot in order to go on to do more projects and bigger projects. And then there's a small slither that goes into just a slice that just goes into the treasury wallet. And that's there for real world costs. So.
And we've already bought Chris Cruz a tool belt as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I will only accept golden tool belt. Like your challenge.
That's
Does
fine.
that with a butt crack too?
Yeah, it comes with a butt crack and all, man. Yeah.
You know, on a
There you
serious note, I'm excited to. I guess we saw him last week, but I'm excited to see the 4th member of this project.
Yeah, legend in the flesh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
In the flesh. Yeah, man.
This spotty drive up to Vancouver, but yeah, I'm glad I'm here full time now for you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, we were happy to introduce him finally and just say, hey, man, here's our golden boy. You know, there he is.
So should he get the golden tool belt, or is that...
No, that's yours? That's yours, Chris.
My trades don't let me touch the tools,
He's
guys.
got some Morant, buddy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I'm just reading the comments again. There's one that I was interested to answer, and it was from Aris. It says, how long does it take to get the first residual income from those property projects? Is it instantly or after 30 days? So obviously, in order to get that one, in order to get the profits from an income project, at least, because that's going to be the quickest and most frequent, we do have to go out and buy a real world asset, and then we have to. Obviously, what normally happens is if you've got a tenant in situ or a commercial tenant in situ, then they pay their monthly rental income from their monthly rent from that, and then obviously that gets put into fiat and into the blockchain, and then gets disseminated across the holders. But the first income, as we've got it planned, at least, what I'll say is we don't know whether to do the airdrop, not the airdrop, sorry, the flex element of it that you claim daily. It might be best if we can hold that for a week and then do a weekly contract and disseminate that to NFT holders, rather than trying to complicate everything and have it on a daily basis, because obviously that could be, again, smart contracts are smart contracts and it's only software. But I mean, from my uneducated point of view on the crypto market, at least, and smart contracts, I think if we said that you would have your first income back after a week, and that would be off the flex rewards, then that's easily achievable.
Sure. Yeah, and those are little things that we can kind of tweak and see what makes the most sense and what keeps investors happy and things like that. So yeah. 100%. Now, Chris, again, thank you and Terry both for joining us. Do you guys from listening? I know you guys were kind of hanging out backstage, and again, we appreciate you guys as always joining. Do you guys have any questions or from what you've heard, is there anything that pops up that you would like some clarification on, or?
I have not come up with anything new because of Milky. I mean,
yeah, the guy's awesome,
and the
right?
white paper is so detailed.
Yeah, well, that's Milky too, man. That's all Milky.
I'm like, all right, let me get.
They have a different spell check than we do in the U.S.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
But I had to print it out and get a highlighter and
there you go,
highlight
Milky.
some of the things, then go back. And then I'm like, okay, this obviously Milky's smarter than I am, but let me try to dumb this down for me. But yeah, I think it's great, and a lot of the things I was excited about, you guys were answering, and I don't want to be pretty much. I want everybody to do their own research, but when can I give you my money? So
obviously we're waiting
Bitcoin.
we're waiting for Vulcan to launch, and we are in talks, like I said, with some other blockchains, things of that nature. But really, this was mainly geared towards Vulcan initially to launch, and then from there we'll kind of spread our wings and go elsewhere. But waiting for Vulcan to launch, and we're all excited for that.
Yeah, we're hoping at the end of the week we have some news for you guys. You know, like, hey, Gamma's here.
Yep.
The devs are on it, and then we'll be
now.
able to
I will say this. I will say that we may or may not have a call coming up with Caitlin from Vulcan, from the Vulcan team. So we may or may not have a conversation, a phone call coming up, meeting with her soon. Hopefully this week. That's the plan. So.
Do you want to answer Tina's question? You already answered like a couple times, but Tina wants to know where you want to buy property. We know the continents, but maybe just there you go.
Yeah, so this, I mean, obviously, we would be silly to try and reinvent the wheel and go and like, let's go to Dubai because it's where everyone's going and glossy and things like that, or just generally picking a random country in the middle of Europe or South America or something. But because the expertise or at least my knowledge is based in the UK, it'll be there. And obviously Crypto Legend is in Canada. I mean, the reason why we're doing this is we want to build on our experiences over the last however many years our combined experience is. But there's no point being an expert in Canada and then going to Sweden and trying to learn it from scratch from yourself. You might as well. We want to prove concept. This is not going to be a company that is here. It's not a pump and dump or anything like that. It's not a meme coin. This is a real corporate entity that uses money within and blockchain technology, but it is a property company. I
think that's the cool thing is we all want to see the advance of cryptocurrency kind of getting into our everyday lives, right? And this is kind of the merge of those two things.
I'm always going to look at property on my own back door, in my own yard, right? And again, I only claim to be an expert on my own back door. So that's a bit, and most talking to that I do to talk to people, truly and clearly, property is going to sell for money and maybe a hybrid of some crypto, some shares back and forth, something that we can get our best deal on. So.
Sure. Now, that being said, Crypto Legend, I know you and I have had some conversations. What does the market look like there in Canada where you are? Because I know you said it's looking pretty good for people on the buying side.
Definitely. As I say, it's pretty diverse. I think there's so much upside we have here. I believe in rents and in long-term sales. I think in buying at a low, what we can do. The definite upside is going to be huge. So definitely, we're on the right direction, right path.
So how did you actually get into property?
Back in the day, I like Milky was talking about, it's something I fell in love with at early ages. My family was definitely involved in real estate. At a smaller scale, we would buy buy properties around the university areas, anywhere there's university, and we buy houses, whatever we could find, and we put a basement suite in, double up the income, whatever we could, and then we eventually turn around and sell them as profit and income stabilized properties, and it just grew from there. And eventually we just started personally, family wise, started owning some apartment buildings and different sort of property assets, and it kept growing. It's been a successful, and I'm very proud of what my family have taught me, and I'd like to pass that on to everybody else.
Very
Awesome,
nice.
man.
Thank you so much. Hey,
That's one of the things that I love about this project is I'm going to get to learn a lot about real estate that I don't have the money and the time to go out and find a Milky or a Crypto Legend. Say, hey man, can you teach me some things?
Yeah.
I'm going to not only be able to get into projects that they are getting into. I'm pretty much copy trading here, guys.
And you're getting a mentor.
Yes.
Two
Yes.
mentors. Two
Amazing,
mentors,
man.
right?
Yeah.
That's a good point, actually, Kryptonian, because I do have I have a consultancy business on the side, and I help people. I don't do mentorships, where people have got to buy like a year's mentor, because I don't believe that you get good money.
Yeah.
Well, you can do. And so I was helping people, and an hour of my time is £150, right? So that's what I charge for just.
So that's what, 10,000 US?
Yeah, something ridiculous,
Yeah.
right?
You're like,
$1.50.
I mean,
Yes,
that could
yes,
buy
yes.
me a coffee, maybe, I guess. But
Yeah. So if you say that consultancy hourly rate is $200 US, well, that's for an hour, and for that you get two NFTs that are going to be paying out for the rest of however long NFTs.
You get return and education.
plus the education.
Yeah.
That to me is just I don't know. I'm excited about that, guys, because we've all paid. I like to call it stupid tax. Where I've paid a lot of stupid tax in life, where I've made mistakes, put more money than I needed to, thinking I was going to get something out of it, and come out of it going, "Damn, that was stupid for paying that damn ass tax." So now I'm excited now because, again, like you said, I get to actually get into some projects, copy trading in a sense. They're going after projects that they would be going into if there was no Vulcan blockchain or crypto or at all. They'll be doing this tomorrow, and I get to be a part of that. So,
and I think that kind of reflects back to the other question of where you guys going to be buying property, and we're going to be buying property where we find deals, in our backyards, but where we find deals, and we're going to pass those along to the investors.
That's right.
100%.
Just want to give a shout out to Plan B. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you.
Man. Good to see you.
Any questions, Plan B, for these guys?
We're waiting on Vulcan, brother.
Yeah, man. We know it's supposed to be this week. And just give that word to Caitlin, man. That's what we heard. That's what y'all said. So let's do this thing. Let's get the ball rolling on this because we're excited about it. And but thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Here we got Here we go. We got Michael Douglas. He made pretty good movies. I like Michael Douglas. He was actually a good actor. His wife's beautiful, by the way. What's up, Mike? He says, I was suggesting to BL as far back as 10 months ago of doing something like this, property sharing ownership with Seifu. So glad you guys are doing this. I'm an architect in Soibaha,
South Africa, I think is what he meant.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, you're trying to stump me, bro. I've only had half a whiskey here, dude. And love property development. Yeah, same here, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love property. Haven't been really. I mean, I've gotten this. I've flipped a few houses. Nothing. I mean, I've not made any money. Doing all this. I got in, got out. Maybe a little bit, but I've always wanted to get into it, and this is my opportunity now.
So here's a question from Seven Seas. If we move to other blockchains, are the NFTs transferable to other blockchains? Do you want to touch upon that, Milky? Even though we haven't really talked about that, but I think we already know the answer to that.
Yeah. So I'll no.
Yeah, they are not going to be transferable to other blockchains, and Milky's going to have to write a bunch more light papers.
Yeah. Yeah, so the reason behind that 70s is the fact that the NFTs will be written and the smart contracts behind them will be chain dependent on what rewards they can provide. Obviously, the reason why we got into this in the start was the incredible returns that Vulcan can provide, and that's why we're all here, right? We're all part of that community. If in the future we do go multi-chain, we would have to look at how we would put that onto another chain. We would have to rewrite the light paper because it would be nowhere near as attractive as the Vulcan chain is with the power pool and the flex and that kind of thing. but so it just wouldn't work. It'd be a completely different
structurally it'd be different, yeah. And that's different. Yeah, and that's one of the good things about Vulcan and the attractiveness of Vulcan is if you're familiar at all with real estate, there are lull periods. There are points in time where your money's just sitting stagnant. Yeah. And that's what really, I know Milky and I have had this conversation with Kryptonian, Crypto Legend as well. And that's what really makes Vulcan attractive for this is in those stagnant periods, you're still getting some type of return from the flex and the power pool. And I think it's perfect for what we're trying to do here.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wish we could. Everybody wishes that when, especially people who are in property, they wish they could wave a magic wand and things would move a lot faster than they did. Yeah. But they just don't. They take forever.
Especially in development, right? I mean, like you said, you've got inspectors that need to come out and soil samples and whatever. I mean, there's so many hurdles that you need to jump over to get to the finish line. Yeah.
Yeah. If we want to book an appointment for putting in some new power cables to a site that's never had power before, let's just say it's a brownfield site, then that you'll ring up or you'll email somebody and they'll say, right, your email's in the queue. That'll take 5 days for them to answer your email, at which they'll book a routine inspection in 16 weeks. Mm-hmm. And in 16 weeks, they then may give you a day for actually putting the pipe in the ground. It's so, and for that, and if you think about that in real world, if you're an investor in property and you're looking at getting a return in a year or 18 months for a smaller project, then during that time, your money is earning zero, absolutely zero. Inflation, the way it is, it's actually costing you money to have it in there, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that the Vulcan blockchain can give you the 44%, can give you the flex, can give you price appreciation as well if it goes where everyone hopes it goes. It gives you the power pool, and then you're just earning money on money and doing nothing. And at the end of it, you get the bonus of having an income from a property project as well, which is
and the safety net of it being backed by a real world asset. I mean, to me, it's a no brainer.
Yeah. So now we can talk a little bit now, and again, just shut me up or kick me off if I talk too much. But that's why we put in the war chest and the safety net. Now I described the safety net before, and the war chest. Sorry, you put me off then by doing this. I had no idea.
I'm sorry.
The war chest is designed obviously to take away a little bit of risk for the investor as well. And again, it's in the light paper. But the war chest is when we're ready to put money into a project, i.e. buy the project or do the work on a project, 30% of the funds held on the blockchain or held for that project are then converted into stables. And the reason we do that is if in case there's any price fluctuation, let's just say we agree to buy a project or the project's going to cost $1 million. Yeah, there you go. So I wish I was better at graphics. I can just do words. But if the project is going to be $1 million all in, and during that time there is price. Let's just say something. Elon Musk tweets something about something, and it has a price, or something happens where the price dips. At least then we know that having the war chest there, we're able to complete the development. It's not going to be. We've got $500,000 in the bank ready to, or on the blockchain held in vol ready to go. The price takes a dip, and then all of a sudden we've got 300, and now we can't finish the project. That's what the war chest is for. It's to hold it in stables. Yes, it's
to compensate for the volatility of crypto in general. Really, yeah,
100%. And yes, it's not while it's in the war chest, it's not earning the flex rewards of the power pool because it's in stables. But as investors, you've obviously value your safety as well and the investment security that you've got, and that's where that comes in. So
we got another question for you here from Miss Worldwide. Actually has a question. Have you guys heard of Fundraise or Fundrise? Would you get into that? I've not heard of that. You guys heard of that?
No.
I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's like a crowdfunding.
Oh, crowdfunding type thing? Okay.
I think that's what Fundrise is, if I'm not mistaken.
How about this? Is any one of the team familiar with bricks? No, I'm not familiar
No,
with bricks.
but I mean, we know there's other projects out there. There's some other staking projects, and there's things similar to kind of what we're doing, but nothing exactly like what we're doing. And I think we bring a lot more to the table, especially with the added bonus of the education. And again, there's nothing exactly like what we're doing, but we do know that there are other projects similar in the same space, I guess you would say, as to what we're doing, but nothing that's going to take advantage of something like the Vulcan blockchain either. So I think we have something unique.
We'll always be better, though. It's okay.
Yeah. Again, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're taking something that's out there and we're just making it better.
Yeah. So it's as you said, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, and we do understand. We have been, as we've been kind of tweaking the light paper along the way. We've been entering other Discords and reading what they're doing and things like that. And there is some great projects out there, but what they seem to do is they seem to offer about 8 to 10%, which is what you normally get per annum, and there is none of the side benefits of obviously the flex, the power pool,
none of it,
all that kind of stuff. The ability for it to be on a new blockchain, the education side, and what we found on the majority of them. And I'm not trying to be dismissive because they've created their own project, but a lot of them are, I would say, a little bit gimmicky with regards to NFT. And you own an NFT with it's a fancy little picture and stuff like that. As we don't necessarily have to be the first into the space, but we want to be the best in the space. As what was it that Conor McGregor once said? He said, "We're not here to take part; we're here to take over." It's something along those lines. We want to be the best, and the putting our foundations there on the Vulcan blockchain is something that we're really, really excited about. And I think a lot of our competitors will just look at us and say, "We cannot compete with that. That is truly outstanding." Because of the mixture of it being a real world company with real world assets, utilizing blockchain technology. We're not a tech company. We're a property company that utilizes blockchain technology. So we're pretty much on the forefront of where people want to be.
We got a question there for you. Slumdog has a question for you. Crypto Legend and Milky, you guys accepting applications?
I always deal with realtors every day.
So what we deal with in the UK, at least, is we have people called property sourcers, and they will go and source a property, and they'll have an in with maybe a landowner or something like that. So and the way I normally do it is if the deal stacks and the deal sourcer brings us the deal, then there is a commission to be paid to them, but it won't be a full-time job because there is no need to employ people full-time. But if somebody brings a deal that stacks and they've got all the information, not just like a URL of a property that's on the market and stuff, because that's nothing, right? And I deal with that constantly.
Sure.
But people who've put the work in, people who've maybe put it through planning and say, they're working with the landowner and said, right, this is the finalized project. This is what you can buy it for. Then we'll pay a commission for that. That's just
awesome.
That's part of the business.
Oh yeah, hopefully I answered your question, Slumdog. So get to work. Be awesome, man. Hope to see what you can find, man. All of those of you that have some ideas or some development in mind, hey, here's a chance, man. Some opportunity here for you guys. All right.
And here's a little update from Plan B. Hopefully, but not promised, a full rebasing testnet by this weekend. So something to look forward to. Then you should be able to easily add it to smart contracts with DApp Starter when it's updated. So there you go, guys. Hopefully we have a full rebasing testnet by this weekend. So there's some good positive news from the man himself, Plan B. So thank you for that, Plan B.
Yep,
appreciate the update, and we're certainly looking forward to being able to do just that. Thank you, man. Appreciate you being here.
That's cool. Just can you look at the Sky Dreams question? It says, just to clarify that one.
Yeah.
So this is one thing I do want to get absolutely clear.
Yep.
Investors own the investment property. So the actual investors won't own the property. What you're doing is you're investing into the company. The company owns the property. You get the rewards that come with that. Because if you can imagine the absolute nightmare that would come with, let's just say we've got 2,000 NFT holders, then that means individually we've got 2,000 property owners. And if
we need 2,000 signatures at a settlement.
Yeah, if we wanted to sell that property, we would have to get for every single one. So you don't actually own the property. Obviously, you've got all the attributes that are assigned to it and the profitability that comes with it, and it's all written into the blockchain. You don't physically own it yourself. Right. But then all strategies, so BRRR, which is buy, refinance, refurbish, all that kind of stuff, which makes me think that Sky Dreams might actually be in the UK, because that's a phrase we use in the UK. That's considered. It's more going to be about the development element of it. We've got two sides of the investment thing. We've got the developments, which will be your BRRs, it'll be your flips, you'll be your new builds, your conversions. And then on the other side of it, we've got the income strategy, which is your commercial units with tenants in situ, generating income from day one, which we will buy cash, then we will refinance them to institutional finance, i.e. remortgage it, and then bring that remortgage funds back into the pot, and then we will build the pot again. So there's two sides of it.
Cool. We have another question from Aris. It says, are you doing some type of calculator examples of a potential income from each project? So yeah, in our Discord, you're going to have full transparency, full breakdowns of every project. As far as a calculator, we're not going to have any type of Shevsky's calculator. I don't do calculators.
That's a DP thing.
That's a DP thing. We'll let him do the calculators. But what you will get is you'll get bare bone down. Every penny has a purpose. Every dollar has a name. Peanut to make peanut butter, as Crypto Legend would say. So
yeah, that was a good one.
What?
Yeah.
My field, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I love peanut butter. So that's a new one, man. I'm gonna be using that one. I love that one.
Yeah, that was good, Crypto Legend. I like that one.
So you'll have the breakdown within the Discord. I'm not gonna say no, but it's definitely an option. It just depends on how the projects break down and how we break them down, and you know what the community's asking for, really. Because at this point, when the community gets involved and you guys start asking, I want to see this. That's how it gets developed. That's how things get designed and implemented. We go to the community. You tell us what you want. We go to the drawing board and we try to deliver on that. And we can't make everybody happy, but we can make everybody, happy.
Right. Now we won't necessarily have a calculator, but you'll have expected returns for each project. Am I right, Milky? We'll have, hey, this is what we're looking, this is going to be the return on this particular rental. This is going to be the return on this particular development project. So it may not be a calculator, but you'll have the estimated return as to what we're looking to get on that particular project.
Yeah. So this is where it goes hand in hand with the comment that's coming up there from Ashley as well. It's when we're looking at a project, we obviously do loads and loads of due diligence, and every project is completely different, because if you're a couple of miles away, in the UK at least, and I'm sure it's the same in Canada, it can have a massive impact on your GDV, your final valuation, right? And it's then so many factors come into it. So it would be impossible to build a calculator, and I've still not found one in all my years of real estate that is a be-all and end-all calculator. You still have to rely on real-world kind of knowledge.
You haven't used Daniel Prado's calculator.
His
is the calculator of all calculators.
Yeah.
Daniel makes me laugh because you can be working something out in Vulcan and it comes out in milliliters at the end of it, and it's like, I've got 15 milliliters. I don't know what's going on.
He's in the metrics. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But so there'll be, and I believe that Aris, I think he said that he was into real estate. I think I've seen his comment on one of his other things. I think he's a realtor or something.
Yep. I think he said in Florida. Yeah.
Yeah. So the honest answer is when we're doing the analysis on a project, we might bring it there and say, these are the things that we're looking at. We've got to be very careful though, because if it's on the market and we're doing analysis on it, what we don't want to do is have a community of 3,000 NFT holders, and then somebody goes and looks at it and goes and buys it from under our feet because we've done all the analysis for them. It's not what we want to do. But what we will do is if we decide to go forward with the project and obviously secure it in the real world, we will then put all that analysis into the group and saying, these are the costs, this is the cost, this is what we're expecting to get out of it. And then people can go and read as much as they want. So that's part of the education. that Ashley's looking for as well is that you see all our numbers, all our workings out, our price comparisons, our project profit projections, and then we will be doing things like on the ground kind of videos, updates from throughout the projects. Like I said, on the ground, boots on the ground learning. It's going to be articles and videos published periodically, and just general chit chat in the Discord. We want it to be accessible to everybody, and we won't be offering one-to-one mentoring.
Milky does mentoring. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, Milky, but you've gotten up on stage and you've done almost like TED Talks, kind of for the real estate space.
Yeah, I do like to talk, but in this one, what I want to concentrate on keeping everybody inclusive. So I don't want to then offer mentoring, and I'm sure Crypto Legends is the same. We're pretty busy anyway, and this is obviously this. Property Flex is something that I'm closing down a number of businesses in order to fully concentrate on this. But what I don't want to do then is kind of distract myself away and finding a client, i.e. Ashley, if I was to talk about it as a consultancy thing, it's very much based in your local area. And like doing a project or a development in your local area, you have to know the exact location, because otherwise it won't work. So there's no point me trying to tell Ashley if she's in the US or if somewhere else anything, because I don't understand the rules and the regulations. The same as Crypto Legend wouldn't really understand how to do anything in the UK. He's got the basics. He's got the overall knowledge, but not the stuff that costs the money in the middle.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. And Eris, like you said, he did say he was a realtor in Florida. And he asked how much we are looking to invest in deals as far as price range. And I mean, we're looking initially, I'm sure, a couple of 100,000 up to millions.
We've spoken about it, and we know what our targets are for how many NFTs we want to have sold. But obviously, as everyone can do this simple math, it's going to take a lot of NFT sales to get up to the 10-15 million mark or whatever we want to be. So it's going to be a slow burner. We're going to do smaller projects and then grow and grow and grow, because part of the tokenomics for it is profit coming from the project does go back into the pool, generating flex and generating power pool and increasing rewards. So it's not going to be something where unless something goes crazy and we just sell 400,000 NFTs or something ridiculous.
If Plan B decides to sell one of his planes and jump in and invest and put, a $500,000 right in from the jump, and then it gets followed up by another $500,000. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? So, who knows?
No obligations.
Yeah.
But it's a thought, right? I'm just thinking about it.
We know what's up, Plan B. So, and balls deep. I know. I was eating, and Mrs. Worldwide, you were thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
I DoorDashed some Ritas before the live, and I was eating my little icy, my little whatever they call it, with the frozen yogurt and stuff. So I was throwing it down. So yep. Here's one. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead. No, that was the one I was gonna throw up. Go ahead.
Yep. Are you tokenizing your company?
The answer is no. To start with, I mean, like I said, this is a matter of us deciding to prove concept, and this is a real world company using crypto assets. That's the best way to put your mind around it. And we're looking at starting off relative. I don't want to say small, because I think the interest that we've had on the website already has been incredible, and we're looking at doing quite well to start with. But no, there's no need to kind of complicate matters by doing things like this. It's just a company that is going to use expertise within the founders, and then going on and doing the property projects and delivering to the investors. We're just using crypto to do it, and we're using a revolutionary blockchain in order to provide that. So it doesn't have to be that complicated. So no is the answer.
Yep. Good explanation there, Milky. Good explanation. Yep.
Here goes another question from Sky Dreams. And, well, So would you have a DAO, or were you determined on your own projects to take on? Or what would I
Again,
guess? What are we? I guess our team is actually doing that. We're not going to bring it to the. We're not going to be bringing it to the community. Ari Milky and Crypto Legend, like, guys, we have a couple projects, or is it? Did you guys choose A, B, or C, or what do you think the approach is going to be?
Yeah, I think if we think about the reality of it, and I would love to say that everybody in the crypto space is a nice person, and everybody in the crypto space is looking out for everybody else and not looking out for themselves.
Yeah.
If we start bringing the projects A, B, and C to a Discord or to whatever platform it's on, we know that there's going to be some kind of underling in there that's going to rush out and try and buy it from underneath you and stuff like that. That's just the world that we're in. So
yep.
The decisions that will be made by the team, because that's where the expertise is, and that's obviously why would we not do that. And that's really as simple as it is. We might in the future say, because in the light paper it does say that community interaction may increase in the future. I think there's that line in there somewhere. And that might be the fact that the projects we're looking at, and not be specific on the projects, but just give the numbers and say, like, these are the things. What if they were relatively similar.
We could do this and get X return, or we could do that and get X return.
These
what would you?
Without naming it, then yes, we could put it to it, but.
But initially, the expertise is here of the team. Not saying that the community doesn't have any expertise in the space, but there's a reason why. We're partnering with Crypto Legend and Milky. These guys have the experience. They've got hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate experience under their belt. Meanwhile, I've got, maybe 20 million, So, but yeah, there's a reason why, we're partnering with these guys. They know what the hell they're doing. So we're going to kind of leave those calls up to these guys at least initially until we grow it. And then we'll kind of go from there.
Absolutely, and like I said, this is a corporate entity. This is something that's going to be a company that will grow and will blossom. So, if you can think of any normal corporate company, then when they need to, before they need to, they will employ people to be in certain positions, and that's where we'll be at.
Sure thing. And Plan B has some good questions here, and the first one is, what's the voting structure like in terms of cells, etc.? Personally, I'd like to see some hotels, Airbnb investments, and not small houses.
Well, the simple answer then is Plan B. You're going to have to put a lot of money in to increase our pot.
There you go.
There's two sides of it, and that is obviously the income and the development side. The development side is going to be buy to sell. That's it.
Yep.
If the income side of it, that then lends more to potential of hotels. We said commercial assets with fixed tenants. Now, there's nothing, or with tenants in situ, there's nothing wrong with that being a hotel and renting that hotel out to a company that want to manage that hotel. There's nothing wrong with that at all. That is within our structure of our business that we've got already. The Airbnb, maybe I could be persuaded by the others, but I don't like the thing. I've been in it, I've done it, and I didn't like it.
I'm with you, Milky. Me too.
Because with the Airbnb, what I want to say is you have property strategies, be it flips, developments, conversions, things. Them are all property, and this is a property company. When you buy Airbnbs to manage yourself, then you are a hotelier, could be you're a hospitality company, and it's completely different. The tax implications, all that stuff is 100% completely different. So it's not something that I would be eager to do.
What are your thoughts on that, Crypto Legend?
I appreciate Plan B's question, and I love the thought of, we're sort of on the same wavelength with everyone else here. Going back to small houses, it's where I started definitely, and it's a great stepping stone. But I think now, I look for larger projects, and as we were talking earlier, you need those stepping stones, and I'm looking for those apartment buildings that we've done in the past. And right now we're looking at hotels. We're looking at a boutique hotel, 56 unit little boutique hotel, but we're also looking at a flagged hotel of 150 units. So definitely, I like to look for the larger scale projects on my end a little more. As we said, build a house could take 12, 13 months, but to build an apartment building could take 18. So not much difference, and the profit potential is 10 times greater. So definitely I like to look at the large scale for sure.
Well said. And
Well said.
Plan B's next question is the property all going to be held under a legal trust? Who actually owns the property? And that's a very good question, Plan B.
Yeah, and this is what we alluded to earlier. So the property company, i.e. Property Flex, will own the properties themselves. The investors will be the investors. They will hold NFTs as their investment, and they will get their rewards associated with their investment, just like any other investor on any other property project in the world, not more or less. It's impossible to, well, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's such a nightmare to try and give ownership to the investors. It just wouldn't work in a real world environment where you can then say there's 15,000 investors and now we need 15,000 signatures and not everybody's going to do it. It's a nightmare. So the property company itself owns the properties, and that basically means that if you think about it from a business point of view, this is why we're not taking any salaries from the business or anything like that as well, because we want to build this business and we'll make our money on the back end in years and years and years to come. We're not trying to do anything up front. So it's the actual company that own the projects. But as I said before, because it's NFT based and NFT investment based, we're looking at getting your investment back out within, as long as the blockchain performs the way it's supposed to perform, and no pressure, Plan B. But if it does what you say it's going to do, then you'll have your investment out within 2 months anyway. Yeah. So you'll be cash neutral at 1, 2, 3 months, and then everything will be year-on-year profit for as long as you hold those NFTs. So I think it's a great way of working together in order to get great results for everybody.
I agree. I'm kind of excited to see in the aftermarket once this thing starts to snowball and build. I'm excited to see in the aftermarket what the first and second round, those early NFTs are going to sell for. I'm excited to see that actually, because there's some NFTs selling for some crazy money. Yeah. So I'm excited to see that. Really.
You mean NFTs with real utility?
Correct.
I wonder what mine will sell for, because I'm
just looking at some of like the Ultimo Pay NFTs that are giving a monthly return, they're selling for crazy amounts of money, and they're still paying under $100 a month at this point. They're slowly growing, and you can see where it's going to go. But they're still selling for crazy amounts of money. So I'm excited to see where this thing goes. No doubt.
Yeah, Milky, when you said that, one of the last comments you said, it was like, no pressure, Plan B. He did post a comment, and he was just like big eye.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I was joking. That was from earlier. I thought it was appropriate. It's like, oh shit.
That's good. That's good.
Well,
I like that.
So Plan B is looking at us, but we're looking at him as well. It's like we can do this together. We'll do our bit, you do yours. So that's good.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're both shooting for the same goal here, as Brian and Plan B. We want Vulcan to be successful. We want to bring successful projects to Vulcan, and most importantly, we want the communities to be successful, because we wouldn't even be here if not for the community. Remember, they need us more than we need them. We need them more. Yeah, you know what I mean. But
so you had it right the first time, brother.
Yeah, but here's another one. He says, my pick. This is Plan B's last comment, or the last one he posted. Is my pick: investment in some car parks if it can be afforded. What does that look like on the real estate side of things, guys? Are car parks pretty profitable? Or are they?
You know what's great about that? I looked at car parks. I looked at mobile home parks. Really, you own land, you own the dirt, and you have zero to very little maintenance on the car parks and the trailer parks. But they produce huge amount of revenue, which is fantastic. Again, they're development sites, future down the road. As soon as those areas become more inclined for be around
slap a building on it or whatever.
Exactly. So it's a definitely. I know Nolan and I have talked.
So this is something that's definitely in the cards.
No, definitely it's something that I know we've talked about.
Cool. Good to know. Thanks for throwing that in the ring there, Plan B. Appreciate that.
Yeah, especially with technology moving forward as it is now, and I don't know what it's like in the US. Well, I do know what it's like in the US because it's pretty similar. I mean, but in the UK, we can have like 2 car parking spaces for every one of your Ford 350 car parking spaces. So it's going to be more profitable in the UK.
350 Dolly, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. But so no, and the good thing is, it's a great point that he makes, is the overheads, and with technology as it's moving forward as well, you can now set up these because they all take card payment. They're all done by a machine that's on the side or whatever, pay park and play or whatever. So the overheads are, once you've got the cost of purchasing it, the cost of converting it to a car park, and then the cost of putting the actual infrastructure in, that you're done. That's it.
Yeah.
You just have money on money coming in. So
yeah, that's definitely in the cards, Plan B. Definitely. We like your pick there, sir. We like your pick. Now let me go back to this one here. Stitch. Will these properties be able to pay in vol? So how do we plan on paying back investors? I guess that's what they're asking.
I think he added to that question too. A couple comments below, I think he clarified.
To pay rent. Okay. Yeah, I don't think renters are going to pay in vol. I mean, I wouldn't think so.
No.
But if you're asking how we're going to pay back investors, we can certainly answer that one. But I don't think many renters are going to pay in crypto. I mean, if they want to, sure. But I don't see a lot of. I mean, once we get mainstream, crypto hits more mainstream, I think you'll see a little bit more of that.
It's not out of the realms of possibilities, and we would love for that, obviously.
Sure, and we'll take it. Sure,
but ultimately, that's the goal. Ultimately, that's
why we're doing what we're doing.
Right. This is hopefully exactly, NR. This is hopefully the start of it. Where people say, "Well," they become more familiar with it, and they say, "Well, I'm in property flex. I'm getting rewards in crypto," and ultimately, people catch on, and people are paying for real-world assets in crypto. Right? I mean, that's ultimately what we're all talking about. That's the end goal.
But if you read our light paper, you'll see how we pay rewards. But if you want to get into it, Milky, go for it, brother.
Well, yeah. For me personally, because you got again thinking from the real world now, right? So forget about the fact that it's on the chain and there's crypto, and we all love crypto. That's why we're all here and part of the community. The people that are going to, let's say we buy a commercial asset, which is an office block, and it has a tenant in there, and it's paying $20,000 per month, right? Let's just say that. We want to be able to say to our investors and our NFT holders that contract is for $20,000 a month, not that one month it's $20,000 and the other month the Vulcan's taking a dip, so it's $16,000 and then it's $21,000. We want it to be $20,000 month on month on month, so they know exactly what they're getting. That's it. So we want it again. I want it, as I say before, I want it right and I want it tight, and I want to take away the guesswork.
And Milky's a stickler, man. Don't let him fool you. This guy,
he broke my knuckles, man. Like my knuckles broke. I'm telling you, man.
As Chris said,
you wouldn't get them broke, would you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Look at Plan B coming up with even better ideas. Look at this next comment.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Was it the car parks?
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying about the infrastructure. The infrastructure is there. I mean, we're seeing now in supermarkets or malls or things like that. I'm trying to go bilingual for you guys, but then we do see Tesla charging stations, and they're coming up all over the place. I mean, even small areas in the UK have got them.
Kryptonian and I may or may not be involved with a company coming out with the fastest charger on the market.
Why would you say that right now?
We may or may not.
May or may not. The fastest Tesla charger, right?
Yeah,
electric
may
car.
or may not, but electronic vehicle.
Oh, and didn't we get some amazing news this morning?
We did, and we'll touch upon that when we get done. Yes, we did. We definitely did.
Sorry, guys, you said it.
We'll get there.
But hey, blame Plan B for that one. Maybe.
Yeah, so we may see some overlap there and some things we're involved in.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I actually like this one right here. What Balls Deep was saying, because you and I and I have actually talked about this one right here, storage unit. So. Yep. Yeah, so that's a question I have for you, Richard, Crypto Legend, and Milky. Are storage units profitable?
Oh, definitely. The price you get per square foot. I know in Canada here you're getting $2.50 to $3 a square foot for an empty space. You know, they range from spaces from 10 feet to 500 square feet. And what are you providing? A warehouse with some electricity and some heating and some to build those storage doors, wall doors. Not a big.
So again, this is something that may be in the cards, correct?
100%.
Okay, you've heard it, guys. I love it.
Good to know.
I love it.
Stuff.
Yeah, man.
Just happen to know those numbers off the top of my head.
I wonder why, Crypto Legend. Yeah.
I just closed on a few actually.
Yeah.
Says Bobo says, or Bob Bobo says, will the charging stations have rebasing? I don't know.
At Plan B, what do you plug in one Tesla, you get another one? I mean,
yeah, yeah. Just hold
like
hold
Gremlins.
the charge. Hold the charge, man, and it
right.
freaking replicates. Pretty funny. Let's see. Yeah, so we've got some pretty good comments here. And guys, we really appreciate you.
Yeah, and here's a really good one too. No pressure from me. All confidence on my side.
That's all we need to hear.
I love that shit. I love that, man.
Bring it.
Yeah.
Bring it.
It walks the line between confidence and cockiness. I love that shit.
That's right. Hey, you need cockiness, man. I mean,
yeah, man. I like that. Walk that
line,
line, baby.
Cockiness is the fuel that launches the rocket. You know what I mean?
Walk that shit like Johnny Cash, man.
Absolutely.
Yep.
What was that? Did we lose somebody?
We lost Milky.
Oh.
Where's he at? Here, we'll bring his ass back on here. Where you going, Milky?
Oh,
get your ass back in here.
What happened? I didn't do it this time.
It was Cruz.
Yeah, it's Cruz. He yields the power.
Yeah, man.
Don't blame me. If I would have taken anybody off, it'd been Kryptonians.
I've been very good tonight. Very good.
You have. I was shocked.
It's been such a good show, man.
Well,
It's been so chill, right?
I actually have gentlemen joining me this time. I have King Richard and I have King Winston.
Whoa! Where's that coming from? You know what?
I'm used to being in the King's court, but now I've actually have some royalty up here with me. So.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I love you, Kryptonian.
Yeah, same ditto.
Awesome.
You know I do, man.
Brother.
I love this. I love this project. That's why I'm shutting up, because I'm learning so much, and hearing these guys talk about it. We get to talk to them backstage, and of course off chain, and NR and I are just like, freaking, let's bring this thing, man. What do we need to do to make this happen? You tell us what you need. We'll take it from here. You give us the ball, we'll run with it. And so we are very fortunate. And I know that I don't just speak for myself, but for NR as well, that we're humbled by the fact that these guys have allowed us to be a part of this this brainchild that I think is going to do very well and bring actual real utility, like many other projects out there that and soon to come that will bring utility to crypto, and without anything else other than real estate. So I'm all in for this one. I'm excited about
and we all know real estate is kind of the quickest path to wealth. I mean, traditionally it is. And Plan B, please let Caitlin know to reach out to me or, somebody on the team.
Yeah.
Waiting to hear back from her.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
Please do. This is a good one, guys. What do we got? Any more comments over here? I know we've gotten quite a few. That's the other thing. We've gotten such a great response from the community. We definitely thank you guys.
And Milky can attest for that. I know he's been reaching out to everybody that hits the website. He's doing a great job of that. And I do have an update about the Discord, guys. I was traveling this weekend. I was trying to get the bots just right. My goal is to have it ready by this time Tuesday, or Wednesday. Give me till Wednesday. I'm just catching up. I did some traveling this weekend, and I will have our Discord up, and it's not going to be fully functioning mentorish like as Milky wants it to be, but we're full.
It's a good start.
But it's a good start. But guys, it's going to be where you're going to be able to, from our website, you click on the little Discord link. And of course, we'll shoot out an invite. You'll actually get an invite or an email. If you've submitted your email, if you go to propertyflex.io, put your email address in that field, you're going to get to know when the Discord launches live.
And that's also a good way to stay in tune with all of the information and where we're coming out with things from Property Flex. And definitely go put your email in on propertyflex.io.
Yep. 100%. Hey, Daniel's going to sleep, man. Have a good night, brother. Thanks for tuning in, brother.
Have a good night, Daniel. Sleep well, brother.
Yep.
Appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah, I feel bad now about that comment I made about his calculator going into milliliters.
He's already he's used to it. Trust me.
Daniel's the first crypto
Yeah.
video I ever watched. His first Seifu video.
There you go.
Yeah, he's
So did you
Mariano.
get into Seifu because of one of Daniel's videos?
His first video he made
There
on
you go.
Seifu was sitting in his car doing a video.
Another one.
And then Mrs. Worldwide, and yeah, definitely that's what led me to, of course, yourself and Yanni Boy. It was
Yeah,
great.
man.
I can't say enough about them, to be honest. So it's
Yeah, man.
yeah.
That's why how I got into Seifu, and that's kind of why I'm here with you guys. So I credit Daniel for that as well. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, when he goes all in, man, he goes all in.
Yeah.
And speaking of all in, what's up, Balls Deep has a comment here.
I knew where that was going.
What a segue.
Yeah, I like that.
I like this
I've been
question because it's very specific. It's like, any thoughts on multifaceted income from build an apartment next to a mini storage, next to a car park? It's like, yeah, with a guy called John whose birthday's on a Tuesday. Who's, it's very specific, but I love it because nothing's off the table as long as it fits into. Is it an asset that we can hold and will generate income, or is it an asset that we can build and get an income on the
And
on the
can
back
we
end?
buy it and get a damn deal?
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
Yeah.
I like it like it's almost like a senior's residence. So you look.
'Cause I know I've made quite a bit of money in real estate on the purchase. I've gotten things so very cheap from the jump, and I knew what I had to invest in it. Now I've gotten into it and had to spend a little bit more than initially thought, but I made my money on the purchase.
Yeah, you got a pink sale, right?
Yeah, you got it, brother. Get in on that pink sale. Yep.
That white list.
Yep.
We look at these senior residences here in Calgary, and we call it cradle to grave, right? So there's definitely different levels of care and different investment opportunities throughout, and it just gives us another avenue, which would be fun.
Yeah. And am I correct? You I think you hinted or indicated to me that rents are kind of rising in Canada, and
Unbelievably, definitely.
Yeah. So that's positive for us.
Not only land values, but the rent values. It's just coming hand in hand, side by side. So it's a win-win for everyone.
Nice. Nice. How about over there in the UK, Milky?
Yeah, well, in the UK, obviously, we're a far smaller. The amount of houses that we're building is nowhere near the demand. So therefore, the people who have houses and the people who do rentals and things like that, then the rent can only go one way. It just goes up because the demand outstrips the supply, and
Sure.
it's just the way it's always been in this country. Until we start building homes, and this country is it's too hung up sometimes on green space. It's like, oh no, there's no green space in the country anymore like that, and oh, this field shouldn't have any development in it, and there's too many historical rules and regulations. And I'm like, oh, fair enough. But then you get up in a damn aeroplane and you're like, it's green as shit up here that you can see everywhere. There's so much greenery there. It's just crazy. But it's just because of the inability to find larger areas, then yeah, we're always got more. The requirement for more houses is always going to outstrip the supply. So yeah, rentals just scream through the roof. There might be a dip in it every now and again. Like at the minute, we've got interest rates going up, so therefore mortgage rates are going up, and therefore, but that unfortunately from landlords, that just gets passed on to the tenants anyway. They're like, well, you're paying that, so again, that's as a knock-on effect and increased.
Yeah,
I don't know what's happening
for us, Milky. Or if we can buy these units and these properties by cash, we can save on that as well.
Yeah,
Pass that along to our investors and also to the homeowners, residents.
Let's go.
I don't know what's happened to Chris Legend at the minute. He looks like he's at some sort of police. When you
my girlfriend set this up for me. She did a great job setting this little bit up.
Yeah, that's good. Looks good.
Right up front, the drinks.
Yeah, you just look like you're in a lineup now. I'm like, yeah, that's him, officer. That's the guy right there.
That's his whisk. It's kicking
The
in.
guy
He's
with the
chilling.
jacket.
Yeah, well, she did a
Thanks
great
for telling
job.
maybe
You
a
took
bunch
my
of money.
wallet.
Yeah. He took my property. Right.
Yeah, that's the guy that stole my hotel.
Yeah.
We won't let
He
that
sold
happen.
me the boat. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you just kind of went back
Yeah,
in the distance.
and balls deep, kind of confirming what you said there, Crypto Legend. He said rent in Calgary's insane. I've heard. Got to sell an organ every month just to pay rent. So
There you
yeah,
go.
he's down a kidney, but his rent's paid. So you know,
You should move to Texas. Move to
Yeah.
I mean
yeah,
here on the East Coast, again, I'm in Maryland, and our property is it's nuts over here, man. We're pretty close to DC, and some of these housing prices and just rents are through the roof. And yeah, I mean it's kind of the same here, guys. You know,
here in where I'm at in North Houston, like just under 1,500 square feet is like $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month, maybe. I don't know if that's. I'm just like, God dang, man. I remember just before COVID, 2,400 square feet was about $1,500 if I was renting it out or something. You know, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's crazy how rent has gone up.
Yeah.
You know, and it's I don't see it. It has to do with, of course,
Sure.
with interest rates going up and everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
with
man,
that being,
Yeah, here's a good one. Here's a good question.
Yeah, I read that one as it came in. So obviously, it's wherever the tax planning is going to be something that we're taking advice on. Obviously, we're going to have the best tax planners and make sure that we structure everything so it is tax efficient for the investors. Like I said, we're not taking any salaries ourselves, so everything that we can save goes back to investors. And obviously, we'll be NFT holders ourselves. We've all said that we're going to buy our own NFTs as well. So it's in the best interest for us to maximize profit and to minimize the amount of tax that we legally have to pay, without saying that's the right way to say that. But yeah, we will absolutely be taking tax planning advice.
Yeah, we're gonna have we're gonna get the best advice. And I know we've talked about potentially incorporating in a crypto friendly country. I mean, we these are bridges that we're going to cross shortly. We're going to work all these things out as far as taxes once we speak with the professionals, and we're going to hammer all those things down. And we're certainly going to share those with the community as well. We're not just going to make a decision and keep it to ourselves. We'll certainly say, okay, guys, here's where we incorporated. That way you guys can, we're all about transparency as well. So you guys will know where the company's incorporated. We're all going to docs and all that type of stuff. So, yeah.
Yep. Slumdog says that the reason I would invest in Property Flex, we appreciate that, and not the other project. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Maybe the other one that you mentioned, maybe the Hawaii one. I think he mentioned one earlier. And another project like this is that the fact that the VBC will give returns on top of the base returns. It's a win-win.
And that's that was the premise behind the Vulcan blockchain, the VBC, being important to what we're trying to do. Yeah. And making sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely makes sense.
We want people to be getting returns while they're waiting. We don't want to just if you go and look at the light paper, you'll see a breakdown between the crowdfunding, like normal crowdfunding, where you put $5,000 in there and stuff, and what we're proposing to be able to achieve on the Vulcan blockchain, which is you'll start receiving rewards within a week, which is what we're anticipating. So there's no dead time, and even the dead time, you're still earning money because of what we're basing this upon. So for us, it's, I mean, without sounding too cliched, if somebody else had come up with this, I would be invested in it. Absolutely. Primarily just for the fact that it's going to claim my flex for me because I'm lazy. So, I mean, if I can say that an NFT is automatically claiming my flex, I don't have to worry about it, or I don't have to worry that I'm on an airplane and I haven't clicked collect that day.
And I think people are taking for granted the fact that they're going to have to claim daily, and they're going to have to claim every day for that month to get the power pool. I think people are taking that for granted. As I'm in a project now where you have to claim like every other Friday, you have to jump on and you have 24 hours to do it. And even though I have 24 hours, life gets busy. And it's like, oh shit, did I not? Did I jump on? And there's been a few times I've almost missed it. So yeah, I think people are going to take that for granted. I think people are going to miss the power pool at least one day. Stuff happens. Life gets busy. Yeah.
I mean, I think I've said it to Kryptonian in the past or whatever, or I made a comment on one of his videos when I was just lurking in the background, and it was like, if your flight gets delayed and you've left a ledger at home or something and you can't claim, that's going to obviously mess your flex up for that day. And let's just say that the blockchain is doing incredible things, which we all hope it does, and therefore your power pool breakdown could be $30,000 for that month. and you miss it just because of some life, like you said, life gets in the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, even something as simple, like you said, as a flight being delayed. I mean, and you left your ledger at home. I mean, that's happened to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's
I actually
definitely
had to sell some Bitcoin this weekend. Chris, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Listen, as I am officially your Bitcoin daddy.
Bitcoin dad. Hey guys, I got my Bitcoin shirt on. I got a Bitcoin shirt on there.
It looks like a giant friggin' nipple, bro.
There you go. Well, they are pierced, you know. So, you know.
That's too much information, but I already knew that.
All right. This is going the wrong way.
I
highly
recommend. Highly recommend it.
I had to no. That's Wednesday, bro. Wednesday. So I had to actually take a slice of some Bitcoin this weekend. I took my Keystone with me as I was traveling. And my battery died. I just didn't even think I had been sitting in my safe for a bit. But the point I'm making is I can't imagine of trying to do the claims and then flexing all that stuff and not having my Keystone with me, or having it with me, just having to keep it charged. So yeah, life happened. I got busy. I wasn't able to charge my Keystone. So I missed kind of that dip we had with some Bitcoin, went down a little bit. So, I lost a couple $1,000s there when I took a slice off. So it was like, just those minutes can cost you money, so that's a real life true story for me. So I'm looking forward to see how this is going to work, as the blockchain kicks off.
Yeah. I think more people are going to miss than we think. And I think that power pool is going to grow.
And I'm versed, guys. I'm versed. I'm on point. I mean, this is something I do on a daily. So, and I missed it. I missed the dip. You know what I mean? Not that I knew a dip was coming, but me and my procrastination is, as Milky would say, I was lazy. I could have just plugged it up and charged it on the plane, but I didn't. I thought I had plenty of time, and it cost me some money. So.
Yeah, man. And Balls Deep, we always love you, dude. Always. As he just said, my cousin just sold a shitty townhouse the crackheads wouldn't even squat in for 1.2 mil just north of Seattle.
Wouldn't even squat in.
Balls Deep is always the comedian, man. Always keeping us laughing. Thanks, Balls Deep. And I don't doubt that, man. Seattle real estate is gone. Whoo! Ask Odie. Odie will tell you, man, because he lives there in Seattle.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, he'll tell you, man. Yeah. Real estate's gone through the roof in Seattle. So yeah, I don't doubt that, Balls.
And that's from a guy that actually jumps off of roofs. He's a ninja.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Balls Deep. I actually have someone that will be doing my flexes for me.
He has an assistant, Balls Deep. Yeah. That's what happens when you bust your ass. When you bust your ass your whole life, you can actually.
He's got a claimer.
He's got somebody that can do this for him.
Yeah. Chris Cruz has a minion.
Yeah.
No,
I want to be Chris.
It's an actual person.
Yeah.
It's like an assistant.
So it's not a little yellow dude with goggles.
No, that speaks French. You realize those guys speak French? It's pretty hilarious. I love the minions, man. So Plan B has another comment. So what's the minimum starting stack needed in order to have a successful launch? The property's already scoped. Is it your own? I have heard NR is selling investment property. Is he?
No, that's mine. That's mine. That's a separate deal. So yeah,
okay.
That's my separate one. And I mean, we don't really have a minimum starting stack, I guess. Do you guys want to touch upon this one, Milky?
So the answer is no. It all depends on the interest. It all depends on obviously the successful launch of both Vulcan and of Property Flex, and then seeing where we go. I mean, looking at other NFT projects. We know that with a success, they could be doing 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 NFTs, which would put us in the $500,000 mark or whatever. So, it depends. It just depends on how well it's taken by the community and how well it's pushed. Obviously, right. As Plan B will know, we have spoken about this, and I remember that he was on a video recently as well.
So, I mean, I guess to answer that, I mean, I guess we do kind of, but I mean, we could even, I mean, if we get hardly any interest, which I mean, we don't see because we've already gotten a ton of interest from the community. I mean, even if we get $100,000, we can get a property. Plus, again, we're all going to invest ourselves. We're not, we're going to put our own money up as well. So, and I'm planning on putting up a decent sized amount. to put in on this as well. So I think minimally, I think we'd like to see around $500,000 minimally to start. 400, 500,000 minimally to start is what we would like to see. If we don't see that, if we don't see that, I guess we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get there. I guess.
And this is obviously another good thing about that, because if people invest in the NFTs, and let's just say we don't get to the $500,000 mark, because let's just say that's our line in the sand for where we want to be, the investors are still earning. It's not like it's just sat there waiting for us to sign up more people. They're still getting the money back. So again,
you're still getting rewards, right, Milky? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of that's it. You're still getting the rebasing. While we're waiting on
still getting the rebasing, still getting the flex, still getting the power pool. So that was kind of the thought process and the premise behind wanting to go with Vulcan. But again, I think I think that minimum of 400, 500,000, I think that's a good minimum goal, and I think that's pretty obtainable. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think with the amount of we know we've had a
and if not, Crypto Legend's going to throw in $1 million, so it's okay.
Yeah.
As I said, we'll scale accordingly.
But great question, Plan B. Great question.
Yeah, we know we've had decent interest on the website, right? Because we've seen how many emails have been dropped in and everything. Now we're expecting some of those people to buy one NFT, and then we're assuming that some of those people will buy more than one NFT. So. Obviously, until the NFT,
we're expecting Plan B to buy all the NFTs.
Yeah, at least $500,000 worth.
Right.
Line in the sand.
Yeah, but it just depends on a successful launch, a launch pad, the right marketing before we really go out there, and then it's going to be word of mouth and an organic growth as well, because it's not going to take long for people to realize exactly what we've got here and exactly what streams of income can come in. So
and here's the thing: if you're getting 44% on your Vulcan, you're getting the flex, you're getting the power pool, you're going to want somewhere to put that. To put your returns somewhere that's gaining you returns. You're not just going to want to put it in stable coins. If you put it somewhere in, somewhere that's earning you money, and why not put it in Property Flex? That's kind of the thought process.
Well, I mean, if you look at Jason now, his last comment, there you go. So the answer to that again is it's an unlimited mint, but obviously the attributes that are assigned will be cut off for a short period once we get our first development or our first investment property.
Do you want to run through that one more time with the attributes and all that, Milky? I think Plan B might have
I'll just do it because people might have tuned in a little bit late. Because
and cover this too as well. Sky Dreams' comments there. So it's all going to fall into that. Yeah.
I'm gonna grab a beer while you guys are doing that.
So I'll answer that one first. So there's no tiers. We want to keep it low hanging for everybody to be able to be part of the Property Flex community. Everybody be given the same information. Everybody be part of the same team. That's where we are with that. So there's no tiers because we don't want to provide a gold NFT, if you want to say that, with where they get all the information and then have to figure out how to dilute that in order to give the gold members the bang for their buck, and then how do you dilute that information to give somebody on a $100 NFT or a standard package or whatever it might be. How do you give them value for money as well? You have to kind of almost manipulate it, and it's not where we want to be. Line of least resistance. Everybody's in. Mm-hmm. If you want more, get more NFTs. No tiers, no nothing. Which then goes back onto Plan B's question about the other mint. So it was if we, let's just say for argument's sake, everyone buys their NFTs and we have the $500,000 and we go and find a property or a project that's going to cost $500,000. The attributes that will be assigned through the smart contract to that NFT will be, I keep calling it 1+ because I don't know what else to call it. Will be 1+, which means that those funds will be used for that project on either side, the income or the development side. Once those funds have been utilized and put back in, then obviously we're reusing the same funds to do the next one. So the next project comes along, let's just talk about the income side of it because it's easier to get people's head around. If you buy a property, You have income coming in, we refinance it on institutional lending, and then that money that comes back from the refinancing, we put back into the pot. The people who financed the first pot, i.e. what built that pot in the first place, that will have an attribute of 1+. So that gets all the income from the first project all the way until the end of time of this project, of Property Flex. People who come in maybe year 2, year 3, and maybe on project 16, their NFT attribute will be 16+. So they'll get all the profits from 16 and up, but nothing from 16 and below. So we're not diluting anybody else. And the smart contracts will recognize that. So and distribute the rewards to those wallets or those NFT holders in that way. So they'll look at the attributes. They'll say, well, this project 1 has 16 incomes coming in from project 1 to 16. Project 16 is coming in year 4. So therefore they'll get 1 element of that. So it's as easy as that.
And Plan B followed that up with another one for you there, Milky.
Uh-oh.
There you go. So I know it's hard. Oh, you don't know how hard it is, Plan B. So I know it's hard, but say someone buys $1,000 worth of NFTs based on year 1, Vulcan aside, what is the projected ROI on a launch that isn't crazy but comfortable, say $500K to $1 million?
Right. So let's just say the return on the investment initially, they put $1,000 in. It's difficult to say Vulcan aside because it's based upon Vulcan. So I'll just answer the question as it comes into my head. We're expecting people to be able to get their initial investment back within 2 months-ish. That's just purely based upon the APY and the Flex and the power pools on a good transactional blockchain. So should the blockchain perform as well as we all hope it'll do, you will have, let's just say you put $1,000 in, we're hoping you'll have $1,000 back out within 2 months. Ballpark, right? I'm not promising anything because we all know that you can't promise anything in this wild world that we're in. But then if we buy let's just say $1 million, because it's easier for maths. If we buy a project that's going to cost us $1 million all in, then we would expect, because we're not paying for bank finance, which is normally around about 8% per annum, delivered in tranches. At least it is in the UK. But we're not paying that. So let's just say 10%. We're not paying that 10% with charges. So we're cash buyers. We're doing the build ourselves, and we would be looking at a 25 to 30% profit margin. So we would be bringing in $300,000. Of that $300,000, if you read the light paper, then it is distributed. I believe it's 60% to NFT holders, 10% to the treasury, and then 30% to be retained in the pot to grow the pot for the next project or the next projects. And then again, that 30% is put in there. That increases the flex, it increases the power pool, and all the rewards come back. So you get the 60% back to the NFT holders, and then their rewards, their weekly rewards and monthly rewards increase as well. I hope that's explained it.
You got it.
If Plan B can just give me a thumbs up or something, because it's just like, did that make sense or no?
Yeah.
I think that was a pretty good explanation. I think he got it. Plan B's a very intelligent guy. I've had many conversations with Plan B, and I think I'm sure he gets that. And yeah,
he's very slow to speak. Very slow to speak, quick to listen.
Yeah,
he's very methodical when he answers a question. So if he gives an answer,
I'm a huge Plan B fan. I will say that.
Ditto.
Plan B,
Ditto.
I've always been a Plan B fan since the beginning. He's always he's a down to earth guy. He's very intelligent. He jumps on our lives when we have questions. He's quick to answer our questions and stuff. So we appreciate you, Plan B. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Thanks, man, for being here.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a follow up to the question: why Vulcan, Milky? You've already alluded to this. Talked about it because of the rebasing mechanisms, because while we're waiting for the actual real world real estate investments to mature, right, which could take 10, 12, 18 months or so, right? Crypto Legend, it could take some time. We're rebasing as we're waiting. So your money just isn't static.
Well, it's not stagnant. While it's just sitting there doing nothing. Yeah.
So extremely dynamic based on the volume, based on how the blockchain is performing. You could be rebasing
Yep.
Which is important, right? So it kind of gives you more of an incentive to want to throw into this particular project because of that. You know, you can go in and get into any other NFT project, real estate, I guess, connected project, but is it actually rebasing or not stagnant, you know, as you're waiting for that actual ROI? And I believe that's what Vulcan is going to make happen. So we're excited about that.
Good explanation. And his follow-up question, why not use a platform that is app specific for NFTs instead? We may actually do that too. That may be something we do in addition. We are looking, again, this was initially based around Vulcan. So I don't know if you were here earlier, Bobo, but this initially was geared towards Vulcan because of that. The fact that in real estate, a lot of times your money does sit stagnant and still while you're doing these development projects. And Vulcan just kind of made sense with the 44%, the flex, the power pool, but we are exploring other avenues as far as other blockchains down the road. But initially we wanted to launch with Vulcan. So we very possibly will go with app specific platforms for NFTs and other blockchains as well.
Yeah. We're not,
and again, the rewards will be different, obviously, based upon where we go and what we do.
Yeah. Every blockchain.
Milky's going to be busy writing light papers.
Yeah. which we know, which is going to be great because that, you know, I think whatever chain we jump on, whichever app
we have some little twists that we've been talking in the background about that we haven't quite discussed out in public yet. That I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised once we do bring those to light.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. What you're talking about. Here's another one for you, Milky.
So, yeah, as I said before, this project for us of Property Flex is a long-term vision. We're not just doing this as it's not going to be like a quick pump and dump. I mean, not that it could pump and dump, but we're not looking at. We want to prove concepts, and with any good project, some of the things that when I first reached out to NR was the first guy I spoke to about this, and I was like, this is my aspiration, and this is my year 2, my year 5, my year 8, and my year 12 plan for this. This is not something that we're expecting to do in a year's time. So and you'll know, Jason, as well, that you have to prove concept. You have to prove to everybody and all your investors that you can do what you say you're going to do, and you can deliver what you say you're going to do. So we have to exercise some resistance to spreading ourselves too thin, and we have to obviously not jump into the shiny penny syndrome as well, where there potentially could be some great gains to be had in Dubai, but because myself, who's based in the UK, and because Crypto Legend, who's based in Canada, don't know those markets, and because we would be using investors' money, I would not feel comfortable jumping into something that I'm not 100% certain about. Now, for every person that's made a 10x from buying entire floors in Dubai Sky Raises, there was in 2000, I believe it was like 2012, there was a run to the airports where people were leaving Lamborghinis and stuff because the property market in Dubai crashed. So it's not about the shiny penny. It's about knowing your market and keeping investors' funds safe, incorporating the war chest, incorporating the safety net and everything that's in the light paper, minimizing risk but maximizing rewards. Now, those rewards could be somewhere like Dubai that could entice you, but for me, it's about getting it right and not just jumping at every opportunity because other people are making money. I mean, if you think about it in crypto terms, if you're looking at like meme coins and everyone's like, oh, get into Pepe and stuff like that or whatever it is. There was like 17 bloody Pepe coins pushed out, and everyone jumped onto those, and the majority of people made money before people even knew about it. So if you jump into these, let's just say we buy a whole floor of a skyscraper, and then some Saudi prince or something determines that skyscraper is not going to be finished because we didn't understand the rules and the regulations. It's not something that we're going to be looking at doing until we understand the market.
Yeah, well said. I think you just broke that down perfectly, Milky. Now, I mean, as we grow and as the war chest grows and as our funds grow, could we potentially have a certain percentage of our funds that maybe we do something that's higher risk, higher return? It's possible. But that's going to be later on down the road, if at all.
Yeah. I think with the crypto space as well, if people want to make money and 10x and 20x and 1000x, the opportunity is there for if they want to pull their funds and if they want to put money into Property Flex and buy NFTs and leave them as a passive play and just see the rewards coming in and be whatever. If they have extra money and they want to go, there is other companies out there doing this, but it's not going to be something that we do because, like myself and Crypto Legend have said before, you need to know the environment. And within certain aspects of property and investing and stuff, it can be, you can win or lose based on a piece of paper. And if you don't understand that piece of paper and the rules and the regulations or what that may mean, then you're basically gambling. And we don't want to gamble with our investors' money.
Yeah, well said, Milky. And I think that's investors will trust us more knowing that coming in, knowing that we're not going to gamble with their money, knowing that we do have the safety net and the war chest and their money's going to be safe. So this isn't, like you said, this isn't 1000x play. That's not what we're here for. This is a real company using blockchain technology. It's more of a stable kind of return. But we're also not going for that 8 to 10% either. You know,
no, the beauty of it, and again, the way that the vision has been molded over the last couple of months into what we see now in the light paper. Right? It didn't start out like this. It was purely an idea, and a lot of people helped us out. But if you can, when you said then no, NR, if this isn't 1000x, well, potentially it could be, because if you think about
could be, but it's not a gamble like a Pepe coin or something. That's what I was hinting at. Yeah.
If you put in $100 and you get your money back, and let's just say you buy before the first project and you buy in the first 4 months or whatever it may be, and you get your money back within 2 months, 3 months, then your profitability is infinite. It's no longer 1000x. It's just you're cash neutral and your property is infinite. Now, I'm a big fan of infinite profit, so I would much rather say it that way than and it's going to offer obviously a lot more than 8 to 10% because the basic mechanisms and tokenomics on the blockchain that it's built upon provide more.
And I think the 1000x is definitely potential, especially if you get in early, especially with where we're planning on taking this thing to. So yeah, I don't doubt that. Again, I was getting with the immediate, people want to put their money in and in 2 days turn their $100 into $1 million and get out in 2 days. And this isn't the one for that.
Yeah, that's right. And we don't want it to be that.
Where I was going. Exactly.
We don't want it to be that. That's not sustainable, guys. That ain't gonna happen.
No, that's luck. That's gambling, like Milky was saying. It's gambling. It's pure gambling. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, guys. Well, we're coming up on 2.5 hours, guys. I know Milky. It's pretty late where Milky is.
5 in the morning over there.
Yeah, yeah. So, or what's that on the metric system? I don't know. But I know Milky. We've been going for about 2.5 hours. I know Crypto Legend. He's thank you for your time tonight. And Milky, like I said, man, I know it's super late where you are, and I think we've blasted through pretty much all of the questions. And I think this was a very valuable live. Very informative and yeah, guys, I think people are going to refer to this moving forward. A lot of information here. So, but I think, Terry, Chris, do you guys have anything to add? Any questions or anything that maybe we didn't hit? And again, we appreciate Plan B being here in the comments and asking some really good questions. I think Plan B definitely added big time to the value here. And we appreciate you being here,
as far as I can see, we're actually getting into some car parks, storage units was
some storage units, car parks.
So I'm looking forward to that. I mean, community, great questions, great conversations, and we really appreciate you guys contributing to the conversation. So, Crypto Legend, I know that you've been in the back, kind of listening to Milky talk the whole night, as we all have been. Would you like to? I just mess with him. But but we definitely know what you guys bring to the table as far as your experience, and we really appreciate you guys. Any last words that you have about propertyflex.io? That's where you guys go, propertyflex.io, to check out our website, check out the light paper. So what would you like to see happen? Let's say blockchain launches next month. Okay, end of the month, bam, or end of next month. So what does that look like for you in your daily routine? Bam, Property Flex is live. We got all the socials up. The contract's been written. Blockchain is live. What does it look like for you? Go.
Well,
Milky, you're next.
Yeah, well, it doesn't change my daily life. I'll tell you, because I live and breathe real estate, and it's exciting to be involved in this project. I'll take my girlfriend around and we'll look at properties, and I think she's just more excited about. I can talk to you guys about it more than her. It's 24/7.
That's why we're all up here, man. Our wives like, just go online, just go.
Yeah, no, it's all good. So I'm excited. I think there's such great opportunities out there, especially here, and I pass a lot of them by, and I hate doing that, and I think it's time to jump on those and to show everyone what we can actually do here and prove that.
So you think that there'll be a lot of the opportunities that you pass by because maybe resources, time, and is the juice really worth the squeeze? Do you think a lot of those can now be brought to Property Flex?
Without a question.
Great.
Yeah. No, there's awesome. so much I want to keep moving forward with and sharing, and we've only hit the tip of this iceberg, truly. When we talk about the carports, we talk about the mobile homes or seniors homes, and just normal apartment buildings or retrofit. It's endless, and a lot of it. There's lots of communities out here to work with.
Man, that's what I want to hear, man.
And as always, if you think about the iceberg, you've got that little bit of tip hanging out of the top of the water.
You haven't seen
how much meat and potatoes underneath of it, right?
You haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
No,
exactly. Good stuff coming, guys. Good stuff coming. Trust me.
Milky, what about you, bud? How does your day change? I mean, you've been living and breathing this for the last, I would say, 45 days or so, maybe even 60 days.
Even longer. Yeah.
Even longer. Yeah, definitely longer. Definitely longer. Definitely longer. Next month, end of the month, say June 1st, bam, no pressure there. Plan B. Blockchain is launched. How does your life change regarding Property Flex? Like what does that do for you?
Yeah, so just to let everyone know how serious I am about this, I am literally at the minute. I've got a number of companies that hold assets in them and properties and things like that, and I'm actually, in order to fully focus on Property Flex, because obviously it's something I'm really passionate about, I'm actually shutting down those companies, and I'm looking at only having a consultancy, and I'm looking at only having Property Flex to deal with, because I want to go all in, because I believe that we are, as a community, as in just a time in space for the crypto community, we are at the point of something where it's just about to start mass adoption, because there is whether you like it or not, there's conversations about it for the positive and for the negative, and it's in the States and they're having massive fallouts about it. But in the UK, everyone's saying, "Oh, let's make the UK a crypto hub." So, the more that you see in the news, it just means that something like this just gets me really, really excited, because I genuinely believe we can be flag bearers for what can be achieved, and if we put it on the right foundations and we do it right, there is no limit to what we can achieve. I don't think we've, as Crypto Legend said, I don't think we've even scratched the surface yet. I think it's going to come as a big surprise when it's taken upon, when other people hear about it, and just understanding that they can open a MetaMask and put $100 in, and then it just goes from there. I think we're going to get a lot of people who have been badly burned by property, who just want to sit on the sidelines
and crypto and have been burned in crypto. Right?
Absolutely. I was going to say the same thing. People have been turning crypto and say, you know what? I just want somebody else to do it for me. And we're happy to do that, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
It's exciting. And if that right there doesn't show you guys the passion that these guys bring to the table, between Crypto Legend and Milky, I think that says it all right there, really. I mean, yeah.
100%. Yeah, I'm excited about it, guys, and I really appreciate you not only taking the time, but taking not just now, but just the work that you put into your careers to I think for such a time as
impressive.
this.
Impressive.
Yeah, for such a time as this, guys. You guys have been doing this thing. It's been on autopilot, closing, developing, closing, developing, closing. But now you guys get to do something really, as I like to say, blockchain is the last frontier for me, and from my time here on, I think on this planet. I think we're just at the beginning. We're going to certainly there have been some paths that have been.
Of course, he's going to the moon soon.
Yeah,
But
that shit didn't happen. But anyway, Wednesday, brother, Wednesday, Wednesdays, man. So if you guys don't know, on Wednesdays we actually talk. We talk about a lot of things, but
everything.
everything.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely excited about this project. We're in quite a bit of projects in our myself, and not a lot, but we're in some projects that we're in projects that we believe in, and that
And
we're
are transparent.
very super transparent, 100%, and we're putting our skin in the game at the end of the day. We're not just talking
But
about it.
this has got to be the one that I really. I mean, I love all the projects that I'm in, but this has got to be the one that hits home, because right now I'm doing real estate just like these guys are. Again, not on the same level. But this is part of my everyday life. This is what I'm doing now. I'm doing some of my own with my wife, with a partner. I've got about 6 rehabs that I'm doing now. That's what we call them, where we just kind of gut the house, come in, make everything new, and then sell it. So it's already a part of my everyday life, just like theirs. And I'm super excited about this, No doubt.
And for me, this is going to be a lot like for the rest of you out there. This is kind of my barrier to entry has been lowered for me. This is my way in.
Yep.
I've dabbled in real estate, but I can't say that I'm an investor. So I'm super humbled and honored to be a part of this. And I'm just excited not only to be invested in these things, but to learn from these two gentlemen, because years of experience. I don't have to make the mistakes that they made. They're going to teach me on what not to do, and on what to do, and why to do it. And that's at the end of the day, that's what we want, right? We want to know, we want that simple button. This isn't simple. It's going to be simple for you guys buying the NFT. These guys are doing the hard work. Okay. They're putting time-tested, proven life experience, and buying dirt and making it a profit. So I'm super excited about that. What about you, Terry? Any last comments, man, before we close the shop out?
No, I'm just excited, because we're 13 years into blockchain technology, and about year 16 is like the big burst of everything, and we're in early. So I'm
in early, yeah.
I'm
We can with
these projects.
I truly believe, guys. I truly believe, and I say this with so much conviction, more conviction than Prado has on his calculator. I say this with absolute 1,000% conviction that I believe that Property Flex is going to absolutely set the standard on how to bring real estate related utility to blockchain. So I am stoked about that. I can't even tell you. I'm in other projects, right? Obviously, but this is the one. This is my baby right here. This is the one I'm truly passionate about. And Milky, I hope you know that, man. I mean, this is the one I live and breathe, man. I think about this one every day. Because why? Because I live in a house, right, that sits on dirt. Everything else is cornflakes.
And we know too, this is the one that really hits home. I mean, everybody knows the real estate business, and this is the one that really brings that synergy of bringing real world and crypto together. I think
that's why.
And I've said it before, even with like titles for houses and home titles, and just those are places where I think NFTs should be, right? And I think this is really the space that brings the two worlds together. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so very excited about this.
And this particular project is what has made me want to actually build a blockchain.
Yeah.
This one right here. So I'm gonna tell you that this one right here, I'm telling you don't know how special this is. Milky. I can't elaborate on that any more than I have, but this one's special to me. So I love it. I hope you guys love it. We've got a lot more down the road for you guys, and I mean quickly. And what about you, Chris? Any last words, buddy? I know you've just been sitting there listening to me talk this whole time, and you haven't muted me one time. I don't know what the hell's going on.
This is the most you haven't talked, Kryptonian.
Because I don't talk with Milky's on stage, man, and
I get it.
And Crypto Legend. I respect these gentlemen, but go ahead. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I was actually I was really listening to Milky and Crypto Legend, so I
Yeah.
really don't notice that you were talking or not. I was listening to the two of them.
I have
so.
nothing to
You
say,
sounded like
man.
one of the Charlie Brown teachers.
Yeah,
Whenever you talk, is
Funny thing is Chris knows exactly what you're talking about. No one else that was, that's over 30 knows what you're talking
Right.
about. But whatever, under 30. No, but what do you think about this, Chris? So with Chris, guys, if you guys don't know Chris Cruz, he's a man of the world. He's been in and out of many things. He knows trading. He knows crypto. He owns a business. He's lived life. So with you living life, Chris, I really value your opinion.
He's
what
a
is
guy
your
we respect greatly.
100%?
you know?
Greatly respect
Yeah.
the guy. He's always quick to listen, slow to speak, walks quietly with a big stick. It's fragile stick, but it's still a big stick. What do you think, Chris? What do you think about Property Flex? Yeah, you could. Yeah.
I think that I've heard enough. Last couple of times I've talked to Milky and everything, I was pretty excited at first, and I was like, all right, take a step back. Let's get real. So went through the white paper quite a bit. I did a lot of research on it, and I think that I'm excited about Vulcan launching, and every time there's a couple of projects that I'm really excited about, and Property Flex is one. So it also makes me excited about Vulcan launching, but I'm also like, hey, launch it when you can and everything. So every time that you guys have your AMAs and you have Milky on, and now with Crypto Legend on, I get more and more encouragement on what my decision that I made like a week or so ago. So I'm all in for this. I'm more concerned with I'm more concerned with the NFTs, making sure that I get the amount that I want to get when it's available, those types of things, because the research, unless something changes in the white paper, and what Milky has put out and established is exactly what I want to invest in. So if anything changes or anything like that,
I don't see anything changing.
Yeah,
Milky. I mean, just from our conversations in the back room, and I just don't see anything changing. This is, the light paper is kind of what it is.
If that's the way it is, and I would think that you would be like, you have a really good framework right now. Why would you mess it up? So I don't think that it's going to change. So now I'm more anxious. I've got my wallet prepared. Well, my 3 wallets, because I'm psycho like that, I guess, or whatever. But my 3 wallets prepared, and I'm ready to get my NFTs when the time comes. So
we're ready too, brother.
I'm not going to be one of these ones that are going to be very helpful in these AMAs, because I understand what Milky's talking about, and the white paper, what you guys are talking.
You're honestly,
AMA is about.
Honestly, Chris, your presence is helpful. Just so you know,
right. But I've already made my decision, and I don't want to do your own research, but I know what I'm going to do.
There it is, and we appreciate that, because we know if at the end of the day you thought we were shooting bullshit, you would be like,
you'd call
hold
us.
on,
you'd call us,
and that's why you're here
for that stuff. I and no reason whatsoever would I be it. No. I don't have time for that stuff. I need to see something that's structured well, even if it's like a friendship type thing. I'll be like, hey, I support you, but I can't lose money, bro.
Yeah, no, and that's what it is with that's the relationship we want with the community. We want you to support us, but we don't want you to lose money. So we're not going to bring something to you guys that could potentially lose you money. And which is why I'm super excited about Property Flex, because we've got the war chest, we've got the safety net, we've got the rebasing that's going on with the Vulcan, right? And then of course we got the real world assets, and not even to mention the exit strategy. Just what we plan with Property Flex is amazing. We got a lot of stuff in store, guys, and we're just waiting for Gamma. No pressure there. Plan B once again. But what about you, NR? What you got, man? Any last words?
I mean, like I said, guys, this is something I'm doing in the real world every day. not on a grand scale like the other two gentlemen on the team, but it is something that I do believe is the path to real wealth, and it's something that I hope you guys see what we're trying to accomplish here, and I hope you guys back what we're doing, and I hope you guys invest. I think we have something really special here. I see the light. I see the future of what we're going to do with this, where it's going to go. I think we've got a great team. I think what Milky, Crypto Legend, Kryptonian, and myself bring to the table, I think, is really awesome. Again, Crypto Legend and Milky bring a little bit more to the table as far as the real estate game than Kryptonian and myself. But yeah, I think it's something special. We're doing something that I feel like no one else is doing out there. I feel like this will be unmatched. And I feel like, as Milky said, we'll be the best in this space. And we're going to do this damn thing, and it's going to be epic. So come along for the ride.
One of the things that really I think I mesh well with Milky is, sorry guys, I've had an old fashioned. I'm a little tipsy right now. No,
and again, Milky, thank you for your time, buddy. I know it's
100%.
late.
I'm almost done, Milky. Dude. I'm about to cut out. But one of the things that really I think drew me to Milky is that he really, at the end of the day, he wants to share his ability to go out and develop in Crypto Legend as well, but is the whole teaching aspect. Because one of the reasons why I got into launching a channel and getting into crypto and talking about my life experiences was to hopefully, if I can at least help one person not make the mistakes that I've made, teach something that will add value to their lives, then that's what it's all about. If it's just one person learns something from me that saves them somewhere down the road, I want to pay it forward. And I believe that's what Milky and Crypto Legend want to do. Of course, we all want to make money. Of course, let's not fool anybody here. Of course, we all want to make money. We need money. It's just as important as oxygen. You need it to survive. But you're going to learn something along the way. And that's what gets me so excited about this. Because that is the premise. That is the glue that's keeping us all together. Not the NFTs, not the money, but that we're going to educate and teach the community that is supporting us. And that's what's super important, at least to me, right? But with that being said, guys, I really appreciate
Hold on, Kryptonian. Let me address this one real quick. Plan B just asked, is it listed as a project listing yet? And no, not yet, Plan B. And that's actually what I reached out to Caitlin about. So I'm waiting for her to get back to us. We'd love to get it listed. We've also, I've reached out to Caitlin also about the grant program, the Skyway program. We've already got a Discord. We've got a website. We're kind of ready to go, guys. So yeah, this is something we're ready to move on. Plan B. So I reached out to Caitlin. What was it, at the end of last week? Milky, Kryptonian. Yeah. So yeah, I reached out to Caitlin at the end of last week. And please get her in touch with us. We'd love to get listed. We'd love to be a part of the grant program as well as the Skyway. And there it is. Yeah, appreciate you, Plan B.
Thanks,
no
man.
doubt.
Appreciate it.
Like I said, Plan B, you're somebody that I've always respected and somebody that I have respect for you, dude. You've always come on the lives. You've always answered all of our questions, and you're just a down to earth guy, and I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
so
man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. You've reached out to me directly, personally.
Yep.
Anytime I had questions, you've asked if I'm doing. You've asked when I haven't been on lives or haven't been out in the public and for a while. You reached out and asked, "Hey, man, you okay, mate?" You know,
he's a guy that'll check in if he hasn't seen us in a while.
I don't think he should be called Plan B anymore. I know where the name came. He should be Plan A.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put up for a vote now.
I like it. I like it, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Now this is the point in time where you just said too much, Chris. One job, bro. I'm just joking.
But no, we appreciate you being here, man. Yeah. We do, and
I
you've
have
asked
no idea what he's talking about. He ain't talking anymore.
It's always a good one. Sorry, but now, Plan B, you've definitely contributed to the show. You've asked some great questions.
Yeah.
We hope that you see the value in what we're trying to do here, and we hope we got across what we're trying to do as well, and hope you understood it, and as well as everybody else. And we hope you put your money up. I mean, we're going to do some damn good things with it. Trust me.
Yep. 100%, guys. Yeah. And I guess with all that being said, as always, guys, we appreciate everybody being here, and we hope you enjoyed meet the team. You know, we have Milky, we have Crypto Legend, of course, myself and NR, and we're bringing you guys Property Flex. As always, guys, inspect what you expect and always do your own research. And we'll see you guys on the blockchain.